Second part. Chapter 21 Self-reinforcement of the copy. A more efficient way to level up? Su Miao was a little confused. In her opinion, entering the dungeon and killing mobs is the fastest way to level up. Leveling up is different from doing other things. It needs to be down to earth and go up step by step. There is no shortcut at all. Moreover, Su Miao also knew that Chen Yishu was not the kind of opportunistic person. Therefore, she didn't understand what Chen Yishu wanted to express. Chen Yishu didn't explain either, and just walked slowly to the vicinity of the zombies. Then he started singing about the newly unlocked thunder. Boom boom boom. In the ominous white sky of a quiet place, groups of dark clouds suddenly formed. In the thunderstorm clouds, blue-white electric currents, like white dragons, kept shuttling through them. Because it is the first time to release the thunder. To be on the safe side, Chen Yishu used the slowness technique to control the zombies in front of him. After all, I just wanted to test new skills. And Su Miao was also watching. It would be a bit embarrassing if the shot missed. Fall. Chen Yishu let out a powerful roar. Several blue-white thunderbolts as thick as arms, falling suddenly from the sky. Poor zombies, they don't even know what happened. Under the wrathful thunder of divine power, it turned into human-shaped charcoal. The effect is not bad, no, I should say it's better than expected. Chen Yishu looked at the combat data in the lower right corner, and a hint of joy appeared on his brow. Thunder hit 1/9, causing 3,620 damage. A total of 11 enemies received chain damage, and the chain damage was 1086. A total of 5 enemies have entered the paralysis effect. 11 enemies suffered chain damage. Chen Yishu was the first to notice something was wrong. Didn't it mean that it can only cause chain damage to 5 surrounding units? This is... Just when Chen Yishu was thinking this, a terrible idea came from his mind. Could it be that the 30% of lightning chain damage can trigger additional chain damage? The more he thought about it, the more Chen Yishu felt it made sense. After all, the description of the passive effect of the lightning skill is that it only requires lightning damage to trigger. There is no rule that the damage of lightning must be caused by the main body in order to trigger the chain effect. This means that the passive effect of thunder does not only affect the 5 units around the monster. As long as there are enough monsters, your luck will be good enough. With one strike, he can even kill all the monsters in a chain. Thinking of this, Chen Yishu could no longer control his expression. Also unable to control her expression was Su Miao next to Chen Yishu. She watched the entire process of Chen Yishu releasing his lightning skills from beginning to end. Not to mention how shocking the special effects of the skills are, like divine punishment. The most shocking thing is the skill damage number in the lower right corner. As we all know, no matter how fancy the special effects of skills are, they are all false. The most important thing is to look at the damage caused by the skill. At this time, because Su Miao and Chen Yishu were in a team, she also clearly saw the battle data that Chen Yishu saw just now. Brother Yishu, am I dazzled? Why did I see that one of your skills dealt more than 3,000 points of damage? Chen Yishu replied nonchalantly, you read that right, it's more than 3,000 points, and there are 8 more skills like this waiting to be released. After saying that, Chen Yishu directed the remaining lightning strikes to hit the zombies one after another. The zombies that were originally gathered together were as dense as an ant nest. Under the devastation of Chen Yishu's 9 lightning strikes, it has become a zombie mass grave. The ground became pitted, as if it had been hit by 9 small meteorites. As for the zombie group among them, no one was spared. All died under Chen Yishu's lightning technique. Su Miao stared blankly at the last thunder falling. The shock in her heart had already caused her brain to shut down. Chen Yishu didn't lie to her. And the combat record of the copy is absolutely impossible to falsify. Su Miao clearly saw every lightning skill of Chen Yishu. Both caused 3,620 points of damage. And the chain damage triggered is even more numerous. And what she didn't notice was my own experience bar. After killing the biological chimera, upgraded 2 levels in a row. It was about to be filled up again. At this time, Su Miao was only one step away from level 8. Kill LV10 zombies, experience plus 100. Kill LV9 zombies, experience plus 100. Kill LV10 zombies, experience plus 100. Kill without injury, additional reward experience plus 900. Because there is a high-level professional like Chen Yishu who is above level 10 in the team. Therefore, Chen Yishu's common leapfrog kills did not appear this time. However, even so, there is a reward for killing a large number of zombies without taking any damage. It also gave him enough experience points to compare with the previous kills of biological chimeras. And Su Miao, who formed the team with him, also took up a lot of the spotlight. Although Su Miao just watched from the sidelines and did not make any effort to kill. But since the two were in a team, Su Miao still received a guaranteed 10% shared experience. But it was only 10%, which almost allowed Su Miao to advance to another level. One can imagine how much experience Chen Yishu gained from annihilating the zombie group alone just now. How about it, Xiaomiao, isn't it much more efficient than solving them one by one? Su Miao didn't reply, but swallowed in fear. She suddenly found that she couldn't see through this childhood sweetheart who she had played with since childhood. In her impression, Chen Yishu was obviously a nerd who only knew how to study and read. Brother Yishu, how many times can you cast a powerful magic like this? As a mage, you must pay attention to your magic value. You must know that a mage without magic is almost the same as a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. You must. Su Miao suddenly began to tell Chen Yishu some basic common sense. She probably felt that Chen Yishu was in front of her in order to upgrade herself faster. While dealing with Su Miao's nagging, Chen Yishu began to look around for the next suitable leveling location. The recovery speed of magic power is 100 times, which is an almost impossible professional characteristic. Chen Yishu estimated that Su Miao would never believe it. At this moment, another red prompt popped up in the lower right corner. Chen Yishu immediately concentrated on reading. Attention, it has been detected that the strength of the quiet land has decreased. In order to ensure the experience of job changers, the quiet land has begun to replenish the strength. The number of ordinary monsters and elite monsters has been increased, and the various attributes of the elite monsters have been strengthened. Chapter 22, Attracting the Attention of the Boss. Strength Supplement, what does this mean, Brother Yishu? Su Miao gives full play to her curious baby and low-school nature. When you encounter something you don't understand, ask Chen Yishu immediately. Chen Yishu calmly explained, strength replenishment is the self-repair process of the dungeon. Especially for multiplayer dungeons like Quiet Land, the overall number of monsters will definitely gradually decrease over time. At this time, the dungeon itself will supplement and strengthen it to avoid the embarrassing situation of having no monsters to grind for those who have changed jobs. It is impossible not to know this knowledge as long as you listen carefully to the lectures. It can be seen that Su Miao's thoughts are definitely not in class. But what determines whether there are more or less monsters? What are their evaluation criteria? Although Su Miao didn't listen carefully in class, it didn't mean she was stupid. At this time, she directly pointed out the crux of the problem. At this time, Chen Yishu couldn't answer her. Because the teacher didn't mention anything about the criteria for judging dungeon monsters. In a room full of projectors, countless staff are busy working. Their screens are filled with various numbers. And these numbers are still changing over time. Area A of the Quiet Land, the LV-12 elite monster and biological chimera has been confirmed dead, and only one person killed it. In Area C of the Quiet Land, a large group of over 30 zombies has been confirmed to have been eliminated. The killer was one person. Area D, Quiet Place. One incredible piece of information after another. The staff used the communication device to report to Lu Tianqing, who was looking at the screen seriously. As the dean of Kunlun College, he is also the chief level 53 mage of Jianghai City. At this time, Lu Tianqing was wearing a white robe. The black mustache and thick eyebrows add a sense of majesty to his Chinese character face. Lu Tianqing's strength may only be ranked at the middle level in the entire Daxia kingdom. However, he is definitely the strongest group of people in Jianghai City. Otherwise, it would be impossible to secure the position of president of Kunlun College. But now, he has enough qualifications and strength to appear here. After hearing the staff report, Lu Tianqing's expression became even more solemn. Pay close attention to the situation in the Quiet Land, and be sure to find this master who killed the LV-12 elite monster alone. I seriously doubt that the zombie group was also eliminated by him alone. House Dean. Outside the Quiet Land, there are basically some low-level monsters wandering around. The elite monster just now is also within the range that normal people can kill if they form a team. No matter how powerful this Lone Ranger is, he probably only changed jobs not long ago. Why would you? Snap! Lu Tianqing slammed the table and shouted loudly, "Trash! Don't you understand yet?" He single-handedly killed the elite monsters that required a team to kill, and almost without any pause in the process, he destroyed nearly 30 more monsters. Zombie, you are such a talented person, do you want Kunlun College to let me go? The staff did not dare to continue talking. In fact, what he just said was a bit overbearing. After all, Lu Tianqing is the absolute authority in this copy monitoring agency, Sky Eye. Call. Lu Tianqing realized that he had lost his composure, so he quickly calmed down his emotions. He said calmly, "Recently, a brand new secret realm was discovered within the territory. According to the report of our detector, this secret realm is likely to be related to the secret of the origin of the world. Therefore, I must gather all the power I can muster to come explore this secret place." At this point, Lu Tianqing's eyes dimmed and he said in a deep voice, "I have to take time out every day to inspect Sky Eye for 2 hours. Do you know why?" The staff member shook his head. No ordinary professional would dare to guess Lu Tianqing's purpose. This has almost become a known fact. Because I want to select good young people to supplement the strength of Kunlun College. Now that the strength of job transferees is getting worse year by year, ruthless people like this who insist on solo farming and never form a team are really rare. After saying that, Lu Tianqing looked at the newly sent data summary from Sky Eye with expectant eyes. Lightning, aggregation mode, hits, causing damage of 45-25. The Rainbow Formation LV1 effect is activated, and our targets within the skill range will recover 30 health points per second. Kill rotten bone zombies, experience plus 125. Kill without injury, additional reward experience plus 100. Wow! Brother Ishu. 4,525 damage. You broke the record again. After clearing out the third wave of zombies, Su Miao finally couldn't help but sigh. Chen Yishu's fighting style was different from everyone she had ever seen. Normally, a new job transfer team requires at least 4 job transfers to be established. And the division of labor must be clear. The frontline meat shield profession is responsible for resisting damage. A healing profession that restores all health. As well as output professions that provide physical damage and magic damage respectively. It is also commonly known as the National Team of War, Animal Husbandry, and Law Thieves among veteran career changers. However, after teaming up with Chen Yishu, Su Miao felt that these unspoken rules did not apply to him. Chen Yishu is not only an army by himself. And it also takes into account the responsibilities of output and human shield. Except for being unable to recover, Chen Yishu is perfect in every aspect. Not only is Chen Yishu's hatred firmly locked on him. Even any attacks from monsters will be easily resolved by him. Poor Su Miao could only forcefully release some reply skills on the sidelines to gain more experience in team formation. Moreover, she only did this at the request of Chen Yishu. According to Chen Yishu. Anyway, you are just idle. Why not upgrade your skill level and gain more experience? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? In short, Su Miao's mood is very complicated now. She originally thought that after switching to a rare profession, she could help Chen Yishu a little. Unexpectedly, now, I would be helped by Chen Yishu. To be more precise, he was led by Chen Yishu to level up. There is nothing Su Miao can do except try her best not to hold back. Don't be stunned, the big one is coming. Chen Yishu saw Su Miao suddenly starting to feel dazed, so he warned her. Okay, brother Yishu. Su Miao subconsciously glanced at the information bar in the lower right corner. But above, the rows of red fonts frightened her. Note that you have killed biological chimeras, 1/1, zombies, 300. Gain status, hostility to the undead, and increase damage received from dark magic by 100%. Attention, you and your teammates have killed a large number of zombies in a short period of time. The Quiet Land is about to expel the two of you, and the LV-15 skeleton raiders are about to appear. Brother Yishu, could this be? Su Miao's face was full of fear, and she was a little unsure if it was a hidden monster. But Chen Yishu looked at the lower right corner and sneered and nodded. That's right, this is a hidden monster, but it was revealed for me. Chapter 23 Skeleton Raider. Based on my experience in Goblin Village, Chen Yishu was convinced that there must be hidden monsters in the copy of Quiet Land. However, although the quiet place has been brushed by many people, but few people have tried out the conditions for unlocking hidden monsters. On the one hand, it is because the number of biological chimeras is rare. It is very difficult for normal people to encounter him. Not to mention the kill. On the other hand, it is because zombies are small monsters that only exist on the periphery of the Quiet Land. After reaching level 10, it doesn't make much sense to brush again. Choose to go deep into the Silent Land and farm monsters with more experience points, which is more cost-effective. But in order to take care of Su Miao, Chen Yishu chose to accompany her to kill zombies in the periphery. Unknowingly, the conditions for summoning the skeleton raider were met. It can be regarded as a blessing in disguise in another sense. Just as the two of them were checking their own things and preparing to fight. In the sky of the quiet place, a small black spot suddenly appeared strangely. Subsequently, the black spots grew larger and larger, and finally formed a secret door with strange patterns. Chen Yishu stared closely at the secret door in midair, and then ordered Su Miao, Xiao Miao, hide yourself in the water mist for a while. Don't take action without my order, do you hear me? Su Miao also looked serious. Even if she is a scumbag, she now knows that the secret door in the sky is the special effect of hiding the monster's appearance. As for her own level, she would inevitably show some timidity when facing hidden monsters. Okay, brother Yishu, I will hide far away for a while, so I won't delay your fight. Chen Yishu felt a little relieved in his heart. Although Su Miao's fighting ability is not very good, she is generally quite obedient. The reason why I was attacked by the biological chimera just now was because of Senior Qin and the others. Click, click. The sound of bones rubbing against each other kept coming from the secret door. Then, a strange skeleton with blue flames burning in his eyes suddenly appeared from the secret door. I saw that after it appeared on the stage, it immediately locked Chen Yishu's position. He didn't care about Su Miao beside him at all. Xiao Miao. Get out of the way. Chen Yishu's legs suddenly exerted force. With the speed of the flame lava armor, he quickly moved away from Su Miao's location. Su Miao, on the other hand, gave herself a water mist technique belatedly. Then he carefully hid behind a stone on the side. LV-15, Skeleton Raider, hidden. HP, 519. Attack power, 223. Defense, 354. Magic resistance, 60. Instant death. When this monster attacks, there is a 1% probability of causing an instant kill. Skills: Death Charge, Eye of Hell, Grasp of Immortality. Remarks: the Gatekeeper of Hell is a special individual with a very small probability of appearing on the land where the dead are scattered. When you encounter it, death will follow. Chen Yishu spat lightly. Then he tightened his grip on the slime staff. There is no doubt that the skeleton raider is the strongest enemy he has ever encountered. But Chen Yishu didn't have the slightest fear in his heart. On the contrary, a kind of excitement mixed with excitement continued to flow in his blood. Su Miao, who was watching on the side, was so shocked that she couldn't even close her jaw. Shockingly high attribute values. 60 magic resistance brings 60% high magic damage reduction. Not to mention that the skeleton raider also has the ability to die instantly. Each attack has a 1% probability of killing the target directly. Are all hidden monsters so scary? Although Su Miao has also heard about the horror of hidden monsters. However, this was the first time she saw it with her own eyes. At the moment, she couldn't help but worry about Chen Yishu. You must know that death in a multiplayer copy will not only result in high death penalties. You may even lose some of your skills and professional characteristics. If key features of certain professions are missing. For example, the magic recovery of the mage and so on. Then the professional will become a useless person, unable to do anything. Slowness. Chen Yishu moved. He raised the slime staff high in his hand. He chanted a spell to the skeleton raider. In an instant, the speed of the skeleton raider was greatly reduced. The khaki swamp is like a maggot attached to the bone, tightly wrapped around its feet. The skeleton raider looked under him and then at Chen Yishu in front of him. Then, the blue flames in its eye sockets burned even more vigorously. Obviously, with this control skill, Chen Yishu directly angered it. It's not over yet. Thunder. Chen Yishu summoned several dark thunderclouds, which continued to form above the skeleton raider's head. In an instant, blue-white lightning flashed like giant pythons falling from the sky. Shoot directly towards the skeleton raider's position. The bone raider let out a deep roar. It also felt the danger coming at this moment. Buzz buzz. The figure of the skeleton raider suddenly became blurry. It should have been slowed down by Chen Yishu's slowness technique. Suddenly started to accelerate. After images suddenly appeared next to the skeleton raider. It turned out to be dangerous and dangerous, using a death charge to avoid Chen Yishu's 9 lightning strikes. Anyone who disturbs the peace of this place will be killed without mercy. The skeleton raider suddenly said such a sentence from his voiceless voice. But Chen Yishu was not intimidated by his words. His eyes were burning with fighting spirit. The movement of casting spells on his hands did not stop for a moment. Slowness. Blizzard. Thunder, convergence mode. In just 3 seconds. Chen Yishu chanted 3 spells in succession. And they can also cooperate with each other. High control brought by slowness and blizzard. So that the bone raider can no longer use death charge to dodge his own skills. Luo Lei, aggregation mode, rushed towards the skeleton raider's face with an indomitable momentum. The reason why Chen Yishu didn't choose to use Fireball. It was because he wanted to test the limits of his new skill of lightning. As an effect that requires additional payment of magic points to be activated, Chen Yishu believes that Thunder, aggregation mode, is far from as simple as it seems. It was just as he expected. After being double slowed by slowness and blizzard, the skeleton raider was immediately frozen in place. The two stack up to 130% slowdown. No matter what acceleration skills the skeleton raiders use, they cannot escape Chen Yishu's ice cage. As for Thunder, aggregation mode, the moment it comes into contact with the skeleton raider's body, it suddenly expands into a huge blue-white thunderball. Densely packed damage figures filled Chen Yishu's lower right corner. Even Chen Yishu himself did not expect that Luo Lei, aggregation mode, would be so powerful when facing elite monsters. Chapter 24, Ways to Break the Situation. Extra magic value gain, skill range expanded by 30%. Thunder, aggregation mode, hits, causing damage 1810. A total of 1 enemy received chain damage, and the chain damage was 543. A total of 1 enemy received chain damage, and the chain damage was 543. A total of 1 enemy received chain damage, and the chain damage was 543. A total of 1 enemy has entered the paralysis effect. Chen Yishu couldn't help but be secretly surprised. I just paid an extra 30 magic points. The size of the lightning ball in Falling Thunder, aggregation mode, is increased by 30%. Don't underestimate this 30%. Because only in this way can the thunderballs of thunder, aggregation mode, form an internal circulation. The thunderball itself will also be regarded as a skill unit. The skeleton raiders in contact with the thunderball are also regarded as a unit. Lightning damage caused by lightning, convergence mode. The bounce back and forth between the two continuously caused chain damage. Finally, even with the skeleton raiders' magic damage reduction of up to 60%. Chenishu struck down the thunder, aggregation mode. It still caused a high amount of damage of 3,439. The skeleton raider only has over 500 HP. It was simply not enough to watch in front of Chenishu. However, Chenishu did not become careless. Because he knew that copies of the Land of Silence were filled with the dead. Almost everyone has a near-death recovery skill. Elite monsters like biological chimeras have the stupid skill of resurrection. Chenishu believes that the skeleton raider, as a hidden monster, must have a similar effect. Sure enough. On the charred land hit by thunderballs, the bone raider didn't die immediately. Its skeletal body was covered in a burst of dark green light. Skill, Immortal Grip. Active effect, immune to a fatal attack, and within 3 seconds, recover 50% of your maximum health. During the recovery period, you will be invincible and cannot be attacked. Chenishu used his identification skills to carefully read the skill effects of the skeleton raider. At this time, his face was solemn. Since this skill was not possessed by himself, Chenishu could only take a rough look at it. He can't see any other information about release time, cooling time, consumption, etc. Therefore, he was not sure how many times the skeleton raider's shameless skill could be released. If it can be released many times, then this monster will be a bit difficult to deal with. Chenishu has 2 high elemental damage reductions, flame lava armor and elemental armor. So, the dark damage caused by the skeleton raider's Eye of Hell. It doesn't pose any threat to him. As for death charge, it is under the dual control of blizzard and slowness. Chenishu is also true. This is due to the instant death attribute of the skeleton raider. As a result, this battle is destined not to be dragged out for too long. Otherwise, as long as Chenishu makes one mistake, the death attribute will most likely take away his life. When Chenishu was thinking about a way to break the situation, the bone raiders were not idle either. After the 3-second recovery period, the skeleton raider's eyes glowed with blue flames. Suddenly it started to dim. Lines of black energy are constantly condensing in its mouth. The skill Hell Eye is an upgraded version of the death sight possessed by the biological chimera. Because these dead people have no pupils, so they can only use their mouths to release skills. However, both the Eye of Territory and the Death Sight can cause extremely terrifying damage. Because an attack with dark attributes will deduct an additional 10% of the target's maximum health when settling. If an ordinary person is hit, even if he doesn't die, he will still be disabled. Chenishu stared at the skeleton raider with a solemn expression. At this time, the black light had condensed into a sphere in his mouth. It may turn into an attack at any time and be launched towards Chenishu. Brother Ishu, don't let anything happen to you. Su Miao hid behind the stone, clasping her hands and praying for Chenishu. But because she was too serious, some gravel was knocked down by her. It was this subtle movement that made the skeleton raider notice something strange. Chenishu saw that the skeleton raider's skull head suddenly turned 180 degrees. And its attack, this time, was obviously aimed at Su Miao, who was hiding aside. Su Miao, squat down and release water mist on it. Chenishu knew that it was too late to help Su Miao get hurt. So he gave the order directly to Su Miao. Life or death can only depend on Su Miao's own destiny. Su Miao also obviously noticed that the skeleton raider's attack was aimed at herself. However, the more critical the moment, the calmer Su Miao became. I saw that she leaned down directly, and a ball of white mist quietly emerged from her hand. Base. The black light almost rubbed against Su Miao's scalp. At the same time, the mist was also projected by Su Miao to the vicinity of the skeleton raider. Grasp of immortality? Let me see how you hold it. Chen Yishu's hand was suddenly wrapped with dense lightning. These thunder and lightning, as if consciously, kept gathering towards Chen Yishu's palm. Finally, a bright thunderball was formed. Taste the thunder that is injected into my full magic bar. The thunderball was thrown hard by Chen Yishu at the skeleton raider. But this time, the moment the thunderball came into contact with it, suddenly it expanded into a huge and bright sphere. Chen Yishu made a rough estimate and found that the diameter of this huge thunderball should be about 5 meters. The figure of the skeleton raider was suddenly swallowed up by this huge ball of light. Countless thunder and lightning were currently eroding its skeletal body. But the skeleton raiders can't do anything. Extra magic value gain, skill range expanded by 2000%. Thunder, aggregation mode, hits, causing damage 1810. A total of 1 enemy received chain damage, and the chain damage was 543. A total of 1 enemy received chain damage, and the chain damage was 543. A total of 1 enemy has entered the paralysis effect. A total of 1 enemy has entered the paralysis effect. A total of 1 enemy has entered the paralysis effect. Because the skill is too large, the amount of chain damage is too large to be seen clearly. The display in the lower right corner also has limits. Chen Yishu could only see that inside the thunderball, the skeleton raider was constantly being paralyzed. You know, the probability of triggering the paralysis effect is only 30%. How much chain damage is caused by this paralysis effect that is almost overwhelming the screen? Chen Yishu didn't think about it in detail, he only knew one thing. Enemies under the paralysis effect will be unable to take any actions. In other words, the skeleton raider can't even release the grasp of immortality skill. You should be dead now. Chen Yishu stared closely at the battle data in the lower right corner. Before the experience gain prompt appeared, he could not guarantee that he had actually killed the skeleton raider. Chapter 25 The Key of the Dead. Kill the skeleton raider, hidden, experience plus 1000. Leap level kill, additional reward experience plus 500. Kill without injury, additional reward experience plus 500. The skeleton raider struggling in the thunderball. In the end, he fell to Chen Yishu's full blow. The huge 2000 experience points brought by killing the skeleton raider directly increased Chen Yishu's experience bar by more than half. Moreover, Su Miao had also released water mist before, which interfered with the skeleton raider's sight. Therefore, in this battle, it is determined that she has an experience bonus for assists. At this moment, Su Miao's body flashed with white light. It was actually upgraded to 2 levels in a row. Name, Su Miao. Level 9. Occupation, Water Healer. Physique, 62. Magic Power, 105. Strength, 17. Spirit, 60. Speed, 19. Equipment, Explorer Arm Guards, Sage Pendant, Leather Boots, Goblin Ear Protection Hat. Combat Power Rating, 4 stars. Skills, Water Mist LV4, Water Healing, Single Target, LV3, Rainbow Formation LV2. Brother Yishu. I have been upgraded to 2 levels again. You are so awesome. Su Miao never expected that her upgrade speed today would be as fast as riding a roller coaster. Senior Qin, who I thought was very powerful before, took nearly a month to reach this level. I followed Chen Yishu and reached it in less than half a day. If such an unbelievable thing were to spread, what would be the consequences? Su Miao felt a faint sense of crisis in her heart. And secretly decided to keep the secret that Chen Yishu was very strong in his heart and not tell anyone. Oh? Have you upgraded 2 more levels? How much experience do you still need to reach level 10? Chen Yishu asked while searching for the treasures dropped by the skeleton raiders. After all, if you don't touch the corpse after defeating the hidden monster, what's the difference from not defeating it? Not even close. Su Miao looked in surprise at the experience bar that was only a hair away from reaching level 10, and shouted in surprise. After reaching level 10, she can not only unlock the magical skill of resurrection, which is a professional restoration skill. It is even possible to turn the water healer into a first turn. While various values will be greatly improved, healing spells can also have negative effects on monsters. By then, she will no longer be just a weakling who follows Chenishu to gain experience. She can fight too. In the copy testing agency, Sky Eye, the staff started to get busy again. What the hell? The Quiet Land has just been strengthened. Why is the strength of the copy reduced now? Probably someone killed the hidden monster, so the strength of the dungeon was reduced so quickly. Hidden monsters? Don't make trouble. There can be hundreds of people coming in and out of the quiet place on weekdays. Do you think hidden monsters are so easy to meet? The endless complaints from the staff sounded completely different to Lu Tianqing's ears. I saw him crossing his chest with his hands, his face so gloomy that it was almost dripping with water. Xiao Zhang, go and check for me whether the hidden monster killer in the Quiet Land is the same person from before. After Xiao Zhang received the order, fingers were flying, typing on the projected keyboard. After a while, he came to a conclusion. He said seriously, Dean Liu, due to the protection of personal information of professionals, I can't tell whether it is him or not. However, judging from the time of killing and the path he used to kill monsters, it is probably the same as the previous kill alone and hidden. The monster and the zombie swarm are the same person. With a bang, Lu Tianqing stood up and walked towards the door. Xiao Zhang shouted in panic, Dean Liu, where are you going? Lu Tianqing waved his hand without looking back, and then said, go pick up this year's top students from our Kunlun College. If such good talents are not received personally by me, the dean, wouldn't it mean that our Kunlun College is not sincere? After brushing monsters for a while, Su Miao reached level 10 as she wished. Her panel at this time was very different from before. Name, Su Miao. Level 10. Occupation, Water Spiritist, 1 turn. Physique, 80. Magic Power, 120. Strength, 20. Spirit, 80. Speed, 20. Equipment, Explorer Arm Guards, Sage Pendant, Leather Boots, Goblin Ear Protection Hat. Combat Power Rating, 5 stars. Skills, Water Mist LV4, Flowing Water Healing, Single Target, LV3, Rainbow Formation LV2, Flowing Water Resurrection LV1. Professional characteristics, the healing amount is increased by 30%. When releasing healing skills on the enemy, it can cause a suffocation effect, reducing the enemy's movement speed and attack speed by 30%, and receiving 1% of the maximum health damage per second. Su Miao looked at her first job career panel in surprise. And in my heart, I kept thanking Chenishu. If Brother Ishu hadn't led her to upgrade, it would have taken her at least several months to reach this level. Because every time the level is improved, the required experience will be doubled. Therefore, the further you get to the back, the harder it is to move up. The first turn after level 10 is a big hurdle. Level 10? Not bad, we should be able to go to the depths of the Silent Land now. Of course Chenishu also saw the changes in Su Miao. The reason why I haven't taken her directly to deep leveling before is because Su Miao lacks the ability to protect herself. Once there are more monsters, there will inevitably be some damage that cannot be taken into account. Although Su Miao is a healer herself, it is not a last resort. Chenishu still didn't want her to use her healing power. After the two confirmed their respective status, just prepare to go to the depths of the Silent Land to level up together. At this time, Chenishu suddenly felt that something was wrong. When I touched the corpse just now, I obtained a lot of precious materials from the skeleton raider. And also obtained a copy prop called Key of the Dead. After Chenishu checked it, he found that there was no introduction to this prop at all. I simply threw it into my backpack and ignored it. But now, this Key of the Dead suddenly trembled in Chenishu's backpack. Chenishu didn't dare to neglect. Quickly take out the Key of the Dead from your backpack. It doesn't matter if you don't watch. This sight made Chenishu and Su Miao's hearts rise to their throats. The surface of Key of the Dead was suddenly covered by a strange black mist. Some words composed of red lines quietly emerged on it. I didn't expect you actually killed the gatekeeper. Very good, you are qualified to enter our hunting ground, but that place is far from as simple as you think. Accept this and I will give it to you. It's not just a key to open the door, it's also the key to helping you escape. Then, these words disappeared like smoke. Immediately afterwards, the appearance of Key of the Dead underwent a huge change. Chapter 26 Hidden Missions and Hidden Rooms. Key of the Dead. Quality, Blue Rare. Physique plus 15. Speed plus 10. Feature, when the attack hits, there is a 1% probability of causing an instant kill. Remarks, the key is held by the Guardian of Hell. With it, you are qualified to open the door to the underworld. Pluto will forgive their sins, and your duty is to send these things to see him. When Chen Yishu saw this, Key of the Dead turned into a necklace equipment. He wasn't actually that surprised. Because the skeleton raider is a hidden monster, it only dropped some precious materials, which is a bit unreasonable. The current situation is worthy of his hard work in killing hidden monsters. However, the properties of this equipment are a bit too abnormal. 1% probability of instant sale, what kind of concept is this? This means that as long as Chen Yishu's attack frequency is fast enough, he can turn this 1% into 100%. Moreover, because his blizzard skill also has an instant kill effect. So, after putting on the Key of the Dead necklace, if he uses blizzard again, he can create a terrifying death zone. At that time, whether it is a monster with resurrection skills or a hidden monster with the grip of immortality, in the face of Chen Yishu's blizzard, he can only repeat the process of death. There can be no counterattack at all. It can be said that Chen Yishu has no rival in the Quiet Land dungeon. After all, no monster can withstand instant kill damage. If you have obtained this equipment before, then he doesn't need to use such troublesome methods to deal with the skeleton raiders. Oops, Chen Yishu's body suddenly flashed with white light. He suddenly and inexplicably gained a level. However, in the next second, a dark door suddenly appeared behind Chen Yishu and Su Miao. This door is almost exactly the same in shape as the door when the skeleton raider appeared. But this time, after the door opened, Chen Yishu and Su Miao were sucked in directly. Hiss, it hurts. Su Miao rubbed her butt and slowly stood up from the ground. She and Chen Yishu were now in a dark space where they couldn't see their fingers. The only thing that can be seen is the team interface of the two people and the battle data prompt in the lower right corner. Brother Yishu, are you there? Su Miao shouted in fear. Then, she felt her hand being held firmly. Chen Yishu said in a deep voice in her ear, I'm here, please keep your voice down, I don't know what's going on here. After that, Chen Yishu motioned Su Miao to look at his lower right corner. Su Miao looked over subconsciously. But the above prompt made her a little confused. Because team member Chen Yishu obtained the mission prop, Key of the Dead, the hidden mission, Quiet Past, has been unlocked. Your team is forced to be transported into the hidden room. Unlock the secrets here so that you can escape. Hidden mission. Hidden room. These two words, even if Su Miao didn't listen carefully in class. She also learned a lot from the conversations she had with her classmates. Not only each of the monsters in the hidden room has experience and rewards comparable to those of the hidden monsters. Moreover, after clearing the hidden room, the hidden mission will automatically reward you with a piece of high-quality equipment that suits your profession. The guarantees all start in purple. It can be said that hidden tasks and hidden rooms are more attractive than simply hiding monsters. But hidden monsters are usually hard to encounter. Not to mention hidden missions and hidden rooms with even greater rewards. However, Su Miao was not dazzled by this unexpected joy. She knows that there is no such thing as pie in the sky. Hidden behind the generous and huge rewards are dangers that are unimaginable by ordinary people. Although he has reached level 1 now, and there is brother Yishu beside him who can hug him. But Su Miao still had little confidence that they could clear the hidden room. There is no other reason. The main reason is that the number of people is too small. As far as Su Miao knows, the hidden room requires at least 3 teams and a total of 12 people to challenge it before it is possible to pass the level. There are only 2 of us together, myself and Chen Yishu. Thinking of this, Su Miao couldn't help but feel dizzy. But Chen Yishu didn't think so. The fighting spirit surging in his eyes was even more intense than before. He now has 3 major killer weapons: Blizzard, Fireball, and Thunder. Whether it's a single fight or a group fight, he can win without getting hurt. Not to mention that he also obtained equipment with abnormal attributes such as the Key of the Dead. Just when he was about to study the properties of the Key of the Dead in detail, Chen Yishu suddenly realized that he had been promoted to another level without knowing it. Name: Chen Yishu. Level 12. Occupation: Forbidden Arcanist. Physique: 59. Magic power: 264. Strength: 20. Spirit: 191. Speed: 42. Equipment: Flame Lava Armor, Slime Staff, Sacrificial Gem, Key of the Dead. Combat Power Rating: 7 stars. Skills: Fireball, Max, Slowness, Max, Blizzard, Max, Elemental Armor, Max, Thunder, Max, Taboo Charge 18/50. Chen Yishu carefully checked the battle data in the lower right corner. Only then did I see some clues from the task log column. It turned out that at the same time as the hidden mission was unlocked, Chen Yishu also completed the first stage of the hidden mission, killing the Hell Gatekeeper Skeleton Raider. Key of the Dead is the mission reward equipment. After adding the experience points from the mission rewards, Chen Yishu was promoted to another level. Chen Yishu looked at his own combat power evaluation. I couldn't help but feel secretly happy. 7 stars, which has reached the admission standards of general universities. But Chen Yishu because of his own professional specificity. So now he has no regard for ordinary universities like this. What caught his eye was undoubtedly a school like Kunlun College. The admission standards of Kunlun College are also frighteningly high. A minimum combat rating of 10 stars is required before admission can be approved. If you want to achieve this level of combat power, you must at least get a piece of rare quality blue equipment. And its own attributes must not be too low. Generally speaking, students who can enter Kunlun College must reach level 2 or above. The only outlier is Chen Yishu. Without the first transfer, it is close to the admission standards of Kunlun College. Chen Yishu felt that after clearing the hidden room in the quiet place, he would probably be able to get closer to the gate of Kunlun College. Xiao Miao, here you go. With that said, Chen Yishu handed the rare material, Sigh of the Dead, he had just obtained to Su Miao. After Su Miao took it, she quickly returned it. No, brother Yishu, keep this thing for yourself. It's too expensive, I can't have it. Chen Yishu chuckled lightly. He didn't expect that his childhood sweetheart would actually become polite to him at this time. No matter whether it's expensive or not, you and Aunt Yun take such good care of me on weekdays. Whatever I give you won't seem expensive. What's more, I won't use this thing at all, and I won't be hurt. When Su Miao heard what Chen Yishu said, she lowered her head and took the Sigh of the Dead. Because what Chen Yishu said was indeed true. After the 2 of them entered the dungeon for so long, Chen Yishu didn't even lose a drop of blood. As the core healer of the team, Su Miao looked like AB************** D around him. Chapter 27 The Devil's Whisper. Sigh of the Dead. Items for inlay. Give equipment skills, Immortal Grip. When the holder receives fatal damage, the Immortal Grip skill will be activated to avoid this death at the cost of reducing the physical constitution to 1. Su Miao checked all her equipment. She found that only the Sage Pendant had gem holes, so she set the Sigh of the Dead on the Sage Pendant. The entrance to the quiet place. A powerful aura quietly appeared. The weak zombie groups scattered and fled after feeling this aura. Even if there is no human thought anymore. But zombies still retain their instinct of fear of the unknown. And right now, this aura represents the unknown. Lu Tianqing walked on this land covered with flesh and blood. His eyes were full of anticipation. I don't know what that mysterious talent looks like. I really want to let him enroll as soon as possible. At this time, another girl with blonde hair and blue eyes suddenly came in behind Lu Tianxing. She looked at the scene in front of her with disdain, and then said impatiently, "Dad, why did you bring me here? I can't even look down on this low-level copy, okay?" Lu Tianxing sighed, and then said, "Xiao Fei. I brought you here today not to let you brush the dungeon. I want you to know that there are people outside the world, and there is a world outside the world. Don't think that you will arrive just after changing jobs. Level 10 is a great thing. In my opinion, you are not as powerful as the mysterious newcomer I saw in Sky Eye." Lu Fei covered her ears and stamped her feet angrily. "I have been chattering about this mysterious newcomer since the door. Am I your daughter, or is he your daughter? Can you care about me, stinky dad?" Snort. After saying that, Lu Fei turned around and ran in one direction. Obviously, she wanted to get angry with Lu Tianxing. "Oh, my silly daughter." Lu Tianxing was not worried about the threat the monsters here would pose to Lu Fei. However, if you encounter other career changers who are killing monsters, it would not be a good idea to bother them. So, Lu Tianxing shouted, "Xiao Fei, don't run around, I have to go back to the academy to sort out the information later." "Xiao Fei?" Lu Tianxing shouted several times in succession. But he always responds to his daughter honestly. There was no movement at the moment. Ah! When Lu Tianxing didn't notice, Lu Fei happened to encounter the aftermath of Chen Yishu and others unlocking the hidden mission. The dark door appeared directly in front of Lu Fei's eyes and sucked her in too. Second stage of the hidden mission, as a guest of Pluto, attend the dinner party at the Temple of All Demons. Chen Yishu's eyes were full of doubts. Compared with the simple and clear monster-killing mission in the first stage, the description of this hidden mission in the second stage can be said to be extremely ambiguous. As a guest? Attending a dinner? Brother Yishu, what does this hidden mission mean? Is it possible that we still have to play role-playing? Su Miao asked blankly. But Chen Yishu took a deep breath and said, "I don't know exactly what's going on. I can only take one step at a time." After the two said this, they closed the battle data in the lower right corner. At this time, a pair of small red dots quietly appeared in front of Chen Yishu and Su Miao. A reddish light appeared quietly in the sky. A red moon is rising. Dispelled the endless darkness around Chen Yishu and Su Miao. And with the help of this hazy red moonlight, Chen Yishu also saw clearly the true form of the little red dot in front of him. LV-15, Demon Servant. HP, 666. Attack power, 180. Defense, 180. Magic resistance, 30. Charm, the damage caused to this type of enemy is reduced by 30%. Skills, Devil's Whisper, Devil's Whisper, Devil's Feast. Note, the person who serves Pluto is also the host of those who enter Hell. Follow his guidance and enjoy the hospitality from Hell. While Chen Yishu was still observing the attributes of the demon servant, the monster's manservant suddenly spoke. "Dear sir and madam, welcome to the Hell of Pain. Pluto has prepared a dinner and is waiting for you both." The manservant's voice was full of magnetic charm. It has extremely powerful lethality against people who are not firm-minded, especially girls like Su Miao who are just starting to fall in love. Sure enough. Just when the manservant finished speaking, when Chen Yishu saw Su Miao's eyes, pink hearts began to appear strangely. And Su Miao looked at the demon servant in fascination. "What did you do to her?" Chen Yishu had a cold face, took out the slime staff, and looked at the demon servant in front of him warily. Although I was also affected by its voice, I could barely maintain a trace of sanity. He won't become a crazy fan of the demon servant like Su Miao. Oh? Does this guest have any dissatisfaction with me? As the demon servant spoke, a long spiked whip emerged from his hand. The whip was covered with dark red blood. Obviously, the demon servant is not as harmless as he appears on the surface. This whip probably took the lives of many career changers. Chen Yishu's heart was ringing with alarm bells. The demon servant wasn't just the first sane monster he'd encountered. Moreover, it was the first monster he encountered with a control effect. In the past, it was Chen Yishu who controlled others. Unexpectedly, in this hidden room, Chen Yishu tasted the feeling of being controlled by a monster for the first time. Distinguished guests, stop struggling, your soul is so delicious, I can't wait. The demon servant licked the corner of his mouth seductively. Then he threw the spiked whip at Chen Yishu. Don't even think about it. Chen Yishu's head jerked back. With a lowered posture, he narrowly avoided this attack. If it weren't for the extra speed bonus brought by Key of the Dead, he couldn't do this kind of difficult action and the extremely fast reaction required before. However, that's all. Demonic whispers released continuously by the demonic manservant. Chen Yishu's head was swollen and his body was heavy. He couldn't think normally at all, let alone release spells to counterattack. Even the shortest 0.3 seconds of reading the fireball spell was as difficult as climbing to the sky for Chen Yishu. Hidden tasks and hidden rooms showed Chen Yishu his horror from the beginning. The textbook does not say how to resolve the current situation. I want to deal with the demon servant in front of me. The only person Chen Yishu can rely on is himself. This is it? Chen Yishu suddenly discovered that although he could not cast spells, 2 light blue magic arrays began to take shape around him. This is the weapon effect that comes with the slime staff and the sacrificial gem. As a weapon that is external to the body, it is not affected by the whispers of the devil. Chapter 28 Su Miao beats up Chen Yishu. At #yen%, %yen #at. As soon as the undead goblin appeared on the scene, he babbled a lot of language that normal people could not understand. The demon servant also looked at the little creature in front of him curiously. Then he snorted disdainfully. It's just a dead residue made of the weakest creature. Guest, are you using this method to humiliate me? But before he finished speaking, another green magic circle lit up around Chen Yishu. The jelly-soft slime stared at its big cute eyes and squirmed towards the demon servant. Oh. This is it? Demonic servants serve as a higher class of monsters. I have never seen anything similar to slime before. Not to mention, this guy has no such thing as a soul. But, curiosity is curiosity. The demon servant also knew about these 2 creatures that were suddenly summoned. It belongs to Chen Yishu. And Chen Yishu is his prey, no matter what kind of resistance he makes. Even the devil servant couldn't let him go easily. Beautiful lady, for my sake, please attack the gentleman next to you. The demon servant used a voice full of demonic power to give orders to Su Miao, who had been whispered by the demon. And Su Miao immediately condensed a ball of pale white mist in her hand. Xiao Miao, wake up. Chen Yishu's words did not reach Su Miao's ears at all. She was only thinking about one thing right now. That's how to please a demon manservant. Hiss. Su Miao unleashed her skills on Chen Yishu. The white mist hides Chen Yishu's figure. At the same time, the demon servant lost his target. What's going on? After the devil servant couldn't sense Chen Yishu's aura, I couldn't help but feel a little panic in my heart. While he was dealing with the attacks of undead goblins and slimes. While shouting at Su Miao, keep attacking, don't stop. Although both undead goblins and slimes are extremely weak dungeon monsters. But they are still capable of doing things like delaying things for a while. Su Miao, on the other hand, worked harder to release the spells she possessed. Running water heals, rainbow formation, running water revives. These recovery spells consume extremely high mana. But she squandered it on Chen Yishu as if she didn't need the money. In this black space illuminated by the red moon, the light blue light emitted by Su Miao's water flow spell is extremely dazzling. Snap! Snap! The demon servant threw the thorn whip in his hand hard. The undead goblins and slimes were both killed. TCH, that's not a delicious soul. Guest, you need to compensate me for my losses, as the price for causing my displeasure. Sizzle. The duration of the water mist technique released by Su Miao has ended. After the white mist dissipated, there were several blue-white electric lights flashing continuously. How is this possible? How could you be unscathed? The demon servant's eyes widened, feeling very incredible about Chen Yishu's current state. The whispers of his own demons caused countless teams of job changers to turn against each other and kill each other. This was the first time he had seen someone like Chen Yishu who was still intact after being attacked by his teammates. Chen Yishu sneered, and then said, "Xiao Miao is a recovery master, she has no attack skills." Whoosh! The next second, Chen Yishu rushed directly to the demon servant with lightning. The high speed brought by Key of the Dead and Flame Lava armor. His skills at this time were as agile as those of a dexterous professional such as a thief. The demon servant didn't have time to react. It was completely swallowed up by the thunderball thrown by Chen Yishu. He probably didn't figure it out until he died. There are actually restorers who have reached level 10 and still don't learn attack skills to save their lives. The demon servant let out an unwilling roar, and his regret turned into Chen Yishu's experience points. However, the cry it made before it died was no longer as sweet as before. It becomes hoarse, unpleasant, and disgusting. Thunder, aggregation mode, hits, causing damage 1910. A total of 1 enemy has entered the paralysis effect. Kill the demon servant, experience plus 300. Leap level kill, additional reward experience plus 300. Kill without injury, additional reward experience plus 300. 1910. How come there are so few? Chen Yishu looked at the lower right corner and saw his suddenly reduced damage value. There was a murmur in my heart. But soon, he figured it out. The demon servant's own 30 magic resistance, coupled with its own charm attribute, reduces the damage by 30%. A total of 60% damage reduction. Therefore, Chen Yishu's move only caused less than 2,000 points of damage. But that doesn't matter now. As I said before, whether it is 2,000 or 4,000. Chen Yishu can instantly kill these dungeon monsters. Not to mention that he also brought the Key of the Dead, with the attribute of instant death. And his blizzard has a 3% chance of instantly killing frozen enemies. It can be said that as long as you don't encounter a monster with instant death resistance and 100% immunity to magic damage, even Chen Yishu is capable of fighting. Brother Yishu? What happened to me just now? Su Miao, who was freed from the control of the demon servant, slowly came back to her senses. To her, it was like having a dream. Everything seemed hazy. It's nothing, you just got hit by the monster's control effect and just released a few skills randomly. Chen Yishu did not tell her about her attack on him. Mainly because he didn't want Su Miao to feel guilty. Although she is a restorer, she is not aggressive at all. But the attack on Chen Yishu itself was enough to make her feel guilty for a long time. Oh. So that's it. Let me look at my consumption. Yeah. When Su Miao opened her panel and saw her remaining magic value, the expression on her face suddenly became extremely frightened. Then, with tears in her eyes, she looked at Chen Yishu. Brother Yishu, I have no magic power anymore. Yes, because Chen Yishu was released a lot of water healing and water reviving just now. The huge amount of magic power consumed directly caused Su Miao's magic power to bottom out. Chen Yishu smiled bitterly, and then said, "Then just wait and recover slowly. Anyway, you don't have to worry about me, I won't be injured." But he didn't expect Chen Yishu's casual words. But it made Su Miao's guilt even higher. Yes, from the moment she entered the dungeon, Su Miao has been following Chen Yishu and being protected by him. Apart from releasing water mist to hide Chen Yishu's figure, there was nothing he could do. Brother Yishu, believe me, I will definitely be able to help you next time. Su Miao said firmly. Chen Yishu looked at her and then at her magic value. Then he chuckled and said, "Okay, I believe you, but let's wait until your magic value recovers to the point where you can release your skills." Chapter 29 The Huge Crisis of the Eldest Lady. What the hell is this place? Why is it so dark? Lu Fei was involved in the teleportation array in Chen Yishu's hidden room. The complaints never stopped. It is estimated that even Lu Tianqing, who is a father, does not know about his precious daughter. He actually has the attribute of being a chatty person. Sigh. I really shouldn't have come out with my father from the beginning. Does this mysterious genius or the rising star of Kunlun College have anything to do with me? Really, with this time, isn't it nice if I go and clear 2 more dungeons to improve my level and combat power? Lu Fei kept mumbling. On the one hand, he blames his straight father. On the other hand, it is to relieve your tension and fear. After all, Miss Lu Fei is not afraid of anything, but she is only afraid of the dark. It is a fact that everyone in Kunlun College knows. Sigh. But it's a blessing in disguise. I didn't expect that I accidentally entered the hidden room and unlocked the hidden mission. As long as I clear this hidden room, won't the reward be taken by me alone? Thinking of this, Lu Fei's face began to fill with a happy smile again. She could already predict what kind of dumbfounded expression she would make her stinking father show after she cleared the hidden room alone and received the reward. However, assumptions are assumptions. As the daughter of the chief archmage, Lu Fei was not dazzled by this unexpected surprise. She knew that hidden behind the huge rewards were hidden dangers that ordinary people could not imagine. This is different from an ordinary copy, it is a hidden copy. And hiding often represents the unknown and danger. This beautiful lady, are you also a guest entertained by Pluto? 2 demon servants suddenly appeared, blocking Lu Fei's escape route one after another. A talking monster? It's so rare. Lu Fei looked at the demon servant curiously. At the same time, the appraisal skills of the job changer are also activated at the same time. Good guy, with a blood volume of 666, he is really a demon? What is this? A defense of 180 and a 30% damage reduction effect? Are all the monsters in the hidden room so perverted? It was obvious that the devil's servant could not understand the terminology used by Lu Fei for career changers. They only knew one thing, and that was that Lu Fei was rudely looking around at their bodies. In this space, there is often only one outcome for being impolite, and that is death. Whoosh! 2 thorn whips suddenly appeared from the hands of the demon servants. And Lu Fei also clearly felt the hostility of the demon servants. I saw that she took out a spear that was still dripping blood from her inventory. He said confidently, "You want to attack me? You are still 20,000 years too early." At the moment when the whip and Lu Fei's body were about to come into contact, Lu Fei jumped up high. With an indomitable momentum, he stabbed the bloody spear in his hand towards the demon servant. Name, Lu Fei. Level 10. Occupation, Dragon Knight. Physique, 102. Magic power, 35. Power, 188. Spirit, 20. Speed, 73. Equipment, Bleeding Spear, Challenger's Crown, Silver Scale Breastplate, Challenger's Arm Guards, Leather Shorts, Roaring Boots, Gold Earrings, Necklace of Power, Silver-Plated Bracers, and Explorer's Ring. Combat Power Rating, 8 stars. Skills, Dragon Flame Rush LV3, Penetrating Stab LV3, Dragon Roar LV1. Lu Fei's profession was the Dragon Knight who had the highest damage record in the novice stage. Although it has been easily broken by Chen Yishu. And her father, who was the dean, spent huge sums of money to buy a complete set of equipment for Lu Fei when she reached level 10. Lu Fei's combat power rating also soared to 8 stars. It can be said that even if the difference is 5 levels, or even 10 levels, no one or monster can be Lu Fei's opponent. Boom! Lu Fei's piercing thrust released in midair not only cut off most of the demon servant's health, also caused a tremor effect. The movement speed and attack speed of the demon servants have been slowed down by 15%. Humph, do you know how powerful this lady is? Lu Fei proudly wiped her nose with her thumb. In her opinion, just this one blow can make these sane monsters realize how powerful they are. So he ran away. Rather than killing monsters, she prefers to slowly torture them. In this way, it can give her a sense of dominance. It is commonly known as shaking S. Run away. I haven't warmed up yet today, so I just want to start with monster hunting as an appetizer. Lu Fei looked at the two demon servants in front of him with fighting spirit. The two monsters looked at each other. The devil's whisper began to be activated in a tacit understanding. Beautiful lady. Your power is too powerful. The devil's valet has a charming, deep, and magnetic voice. It kept echoing in Lu Fei's ears. She suddenly felt that all her strength had been drained away. My head was swollen and my whole body was shaking. Even the weapon that he was proud of looked like he could no longer hold it. Bang! The bleeding spear fell directly to the ground. And the devil's servant will naturally not miss this opportunity. Whoa! A bloody long whip was whipped directly towards Lu Fei. The other demon servant found the right opportunity and released the demon's feast. Suddenly, several small black bats continued to form around the demon servant. This small creature summoned by dark energy. Although it does not have too much lethality, it has strong interference and control capabilities. LV-15, Dark Bat. HP, 50. Attack power, 10. Defense, 10. Skill, Ultrasound. Note, a small creature in the Hell world has the ability to use sound waves to identify directions, and at certain times, sound waves may also be used in other places. Hold her. Following the devil's servant's order, these little black bats surrounded Lu Fei. At this time, even if Lu Fei broke free from the control effect of the devil's whisper, there is not much possibility to break through the dark bat's sonic net. Snap! The thorn whip fell firmly on Lu Fei's body. On Lu Fei's white skin, a slender wound dripping with blood suddenly appeared. Ah! Lu Fei felt pain and screamed subconsciously. Unexpectedly, her screams also attracted the attention of the demon servants. Pleasure, it's so joyful. Keep screaming, let me hear the cry of your soul. The demon servants could not hide their excited expressions and stared at Lu Fei, who fell on the ground. Lu Fei at this time, in their eyes, is more delicious than the lamb. Help, help. Lu Fei finally couldn't bear it anymore and called for help. But she forgot that this is a hidden room, and it is impossible for ordinary people to enter easily. Unless. Chapter 30, Matching of Men and Women. Brother Yi Shu, look in front of you, there seems to be a person calling for help. Su Miao looked curiously in Lu Fei's direction. Chen Yishu said with a cold face, leave her alone. The competition in the hidden room is very fierce. Who knows if she is deliberately showing weakness, and then when we go to rescue her, she will let her accomplices kill us all. Chen Yishu is not a silly guy who just entered the industry. On the first day of his job change, he was surrounded by 3 thieves. He also formed a relationship with a wealthy young man like Lin Tian. Therefore, Chen Yishu knows that goodwill can only be used towards people he trusts. But for people you don't know, the decisions he makes are always made without regard. But she seems to really need help. Should we? Su Miao said it right. Under attack from 2 demon servants. Even though Lu Fei was neatly dressed in a full set of protective gear, her blood volume at this time has reached a precarious level. I'm afraid that she will be teleported out of the hidden room soon. These serious injuries will keep her in a coma for at least a whole month. When Su Miao and Chen Yishu were whispering, Lu Fei, who had been passively beaten, of course saw the 2 of them. Although under the dim light of the red moon, Chen Yishu and the others looked very blurry. But Lu Fei still held on to the last hope in her heart and called for help. Save me, save me. You are also job transfers, right? I am the daughter of Lu Tianqing, the dean of Kunlun College. Lu Fei, if you save me, I will agree to any conditions you have. Also, I will give you a richer reward than hiding the room. Lu Fei no longer cared about it at this time. She finally reached level 10. If she stumbles here, won't all her previous efforts be in vain? If he was going to stay in a hospital bed for a month, it would be better to kill her directly. If other people knew that she, the daughter of the dean, had wasted a month of upgrading time for no reason. By then, others would be at level 20 or 30, but she was still at level 10. Lu Fei's own shame would kill her. The daughter of the dean of Kunlun College? Are you sure? Chen Yishu asked doubtfully. Lu Fei, on the other hand, was almost speechless under the attacks of the two demon servants. Why did I lie to you? If you don't believe it, I have the unique mark of Kunlun College on my body. Come and see for yourself. Of course Chen Yishu knew that this was Lu Fei's plan to protect himself. But he still chose to take action. There is no other reason. Any career changer who dares to impersonate Kunlun College. There will be endless revenge from Kunlun College afterwards. A prestigious university like Kunlun University values its own face the most. If there are some career transferees with bad character pretending to be students of Kunlun College, then let alone Lu Tianqing, not even the security guard at the door would let him go. Not to mention, the woman in front of her claimed to be the daughter of the dean of Kunlun College. Xiao Miao, cover your ears for a moment and don't listen to whatever the devil's servant says. Chen Yishu ordered seriously. Well, brother Yishu, nothing I say this time will hold you back anymore. Su Miao nodded heavily. Then, the two of them rushed towards the demon servant. Xiao Miao. Rainbow formation. Chen Yishu gave direct instructions to Su Miao. Then, a looming rainbow suddenly bloomed above the heads of the demon servants. The water element magic in the air suddenly increased. The demon servant, on the other hand, felt an indescribable sense of suffocation creeping into his mind. What's this? The two demon servants covered their necks, both confused by the sudden suffocation. And the next second, these excess water elemental magic powers turned into biting cold wind, directly freezing the demon servant in place. It turned out to be Chen Yishu, who directly released the blizzard from the side. There is a hidden coordination among professionals that ordinary people don't know about. Among the 6 elements, there are element combinations that will be more powerful when combined. It's like when fire magic and wind magic are released together. The range will be larger and the damage will be increased. Water magic and ice magic also have combined effects. But these are not written in the skill introduction, so most people don't know about them. This is the benefit that water magic brings to ice magic. The probability of negative effects caused by ice magic will be doubled. In other words, in the rainbow formation released by Su Miao, the blizzard released by Chen Yishu, the freezing effect will directly increase to 60%. The effect of reducing movement speed and attack speed will be increased to 100%. The 3% chance of instant kill will also be increased to 6%. Plus the 1% provided by Chen Yishu's own Key of the Dead. This means that after the two demon servants were frozen, not only does it have to withstand the damage of the blizzard every second, but it also faces a 7% chance of instant kill. Even if it is placed in the later stage, the 7% instant kill probability is not low. Not to mention, Chen Yishu is only at level 12 now and has not completely left the novice stage yet. Sure enough, under the dual control of freezing and deceleration, the two demon servants couldn't even blink their eyelids, they could only stand there blankly. It looks like two sculptures. In the lower right corner of Chen Yishu, a gratifying result was also reported. Blizzard hits, causing 764 damage. A total of 2 enemies have entered the freezing effect. The additional effect is triggered, and the demon servant A in the frozen state has been killed instantly. The additional effect is triggered, and the demon servant B in the frozen state has been killed instantly. Kill the demon servant, experience plus 300. Kill the demon servant, experience plus 300. Leap level kill, additional reward experience plus 600. Kill without injury, additional reward experience plus 600. After subtracting the heavy defense effects of the demon servant, Chen Yishu's blizzard can still cause damage exceeding their upper limit of health. At the same time, the high-value instant kill effect occurs after the snowstorm freezes. It also showed its terrifying power. It can be said that even if the demon servant's blood volume is increased by 0, Chen Yishu can still easily deal with these two monsters. Seeing the two demon servants who posed a huge threat to him, he fell directly in front of Chen Yishu. Lu Fei's heart suddenly stirred up a wave of excitement. What the hell? This is a monster in a hidden room. It has a high HP of 666, 30% damage reduction, and even 30 magic resistance. As a result, he only used a range skill to kill them. Seconds? How is this possible? Lu Fei looked at Chen Yishu and Su Miao in disbelief. As a bystander, she watched the whole process from beginning to end. The battle between Chen Yishu and Su Miao cannot be called gorgeous, and it can even be said to be a bit simple. After all, it took the two of them less than half a minute from rushing over to killing the monster. And it's just a magic released. Chapter 31 Deacon and Guests. You. Lu Fei lay on the ground and stayed there for a long time, not knowing what to say. Except for his explosively powerful father. She has never seen anyone be able to instantly kill a copy of a monster with just one move. Even though Lu Fei changed jobs and became the Dragon Knight with the most powerful attack power. She couldn't do that either. So, it was hard for her to imagine. How did Chen Yishu, who looked like an ordinary mage on the outside, do it? Goodbye, a new monster has appeared. Chen Yishu directed Su Miao to treat Lu Fei. Then he walked in front of the two of them and resisted the attack from the new monster. Afterwards, Chen Yishu fought with the monster. LV-15, Demon Butler. HP, 666. Attack power, 200. Defense, 165. Magic resistance, 50. Characteristics: following the rules, this enemy has a unique attack part. Except for the first time, any attack caused to this enemy will be regarded as 0. Skills: Devil's Cleaning, Devil's Old-Fashioned Words, Devil's Fighting Spirit. Remarks: the chief steward of the demon servants is also Pluto's right-hand man. He usually handles various affairs in the painful hell as a manager. When necessary, his combat ability is also outstanding. Chen Yishu looked at the identified panel results. There was a hint of vigilance in my heart. These 3 words, when necessary. It reminded him of the elite monster he encountered for the first time, the Flame Troll. In its notes, there is a description similar to the Demon Butler in front of me. Is it possible? When Chen Yishu was thinking this, the old demon gentleman in a black suit with silver hair across from him spoke in a deep voice. Guest, why don't you accept Pluto's hospitality and attack our host instead? Chen Yishu knew that the monsters in the dungeon would only speak according to the programmed logic. So even if I answered the devil's servant's questions at this moment, I would probably get a bunch of very mechanical answers. Therefore, Chen Yishu decided to use his best fireball technique to answer its question. Blah blah blah. A blazing, huge fireball suddenly formed in front of Chen Yishu. The light it emits actually eclipses the red moon in the sky. Whoosh! The fireball technique, with its beautiful flame tail, rushed straight towards the demon servant. However, the demon servant did not dodge or evade, he stood directly on the spot and withstood Chen Yishu's attack. Fireball hits, causing 0 damage. A total of 1 enemy received burning damage, and the damage was 0. Chen Yishu was secretly surprised. It's not that he didn't see the characteristics of the demon deacon. According to the content in the book, monsters like this generally have a weakness like a core. If you don't attack this weakness, no matter what damage is hit to it, it will be 0. However, the range of Chen Yishu's fireball technique is not small. And this time, I was lucky enough to trigger burning damage. You know, the burning damage is spread all over the monster's body. If there is a core in Demon Butler, it is impossible not to defeat him. Guest, is this your answer? Then I will try my best. After the Demon Butler finished saying this, his whole body swelled up like an inflated balloon. Bright red muscles covered his whole body. 2 devil horns reflecting metallic light stretched out from his forehead. The most terrifying thing is that the Demon Deacon's panel has changed at this moment. LV-15, Demon Butler, Original Power Form. HP, 666. Attack Power, 251. Defense, 300. Magic Resistance, 70. Characteristics: following the rules, this enemy has a unique attack part. Except for the first time, any attack caused to this enemy will be regarded as 0. Skills: Devil's Cleaning, Devil's Old-Fashioned Words, Devil's Fighting Spirit. Remarks: one of the forms that the Demon Butler will enter when fighting seriously. It is extremely powerful and will sweep away all enemies, but at the same time, its speed will be slightly reduced. Really? Chenishu finally confirmed this fact in his heart. All monsters in the hidden room are regarded as hidden monsters. Therefore, it is normal to master the transformation attribute like the flame troll. It was a shameful thing like the previous demon valet, but Chenishu felt a little sorry for the name of the hidden room. According to Pluto's instructions, if the guests are disobedient, we can use force to take you back by force. The demon deacon's voice became extremely weird at this moment. If his old gentleman's voice before was still slightly similar to that of a human being. So at this moment, the words he spoke were as if he were immersed in water and holding something in his mouth at the same time. In short, it is very difficult to understand. Chenishu's eyes are sparkling. Slowness, continuous release of blizzard. This is the strongest control I can currently have. Although Su Miao was busy rescuing Lu Fei at this time. There is no time to mix the elements of ice and water with myself. But Chenishu's own control ability is enough to deal with the current situation. After all, no matter how strong the enemy's attack is, it is meaningless as long as it misses. Roar? A humane smile suddenly appeared on the demon deacon's face. It's just that this smile looks very scary on its devilish face. I saw that the demon deacon's right hand was suddenly entangled with a wisp of black liquid. The skill, Devil's Sweep, is activated. A large area of land in front of the demon deacon was covered in black liquid. Any plant contaminated by this dark attack. They all turned into dust and dissipated. At this time, the black water seemed to be conscious and rushed directly towards Chenishu. Chenishu spat lightly. Then he frowned and stepped back. Fortunately, I have the blessing of dual speed equipment, Key of the Dead, and Flame Lava armor. Otherwise, it would be really difficult for him to dodge this blow. However, Chenishu also discovered that the dual combined control of slowness and blizzard is really useful. But there is still a drawback. It just can't stop the monster from releasing spells or skills. After all, only the movement speed and attack speed are reduced. Spell chanting speed is not included in Blizzard's skill introduction. Therefore, Demon Butler can use this move to force Chenishu to retreat. Guest, stop using these tricks, you can't escape. The Demon Butler let out a weird laugh. Then, the black light on his arm suddenly moved to his back. 2 huge black bat wings suddenly appeared from behind it. At the same time, Demon Butler's body changed again. The black liquid gradually covered its body. The Demon Butler's figure has also changed from the previous image of a muscular man. Slowly become slender and well-proportioned. Chapter 32: The combination of the strongest attack attributes. Chenishu subconsciously activated his identification skills. And it was pretty much what he expected. Demon Butler's panel has actually changed again. LV-15, Demon Butler, Original Agile Form. HP, 666. Attack Power, 130. Defense, 320. Magic Resistance, 70. Characteristics: following the rules, this enemy has a unique attack part. Except for the first time, any attack caused to this enemy will be regarded as 0. Skills: Devil's Cleaning, Devil's Old-Fashioned Words, Devil's Fighting Spirit. Note: one of the forms that the Demon Butler will enter when fighting seriously. The lightning-like speed will make the enemy disappear in an instant, but at the same time, its power will be slightly reduced. Whoosh whoosh. The Devil's Cleaning was all around Chenishu non-stop. Chenishu felt that he was the same as when he first faced the explosion mode of the Flame Troll. They were all suppressed by monsters in terms of speed. Only by trying your best to avoid it can you avoid getting it in your hands. Although he has dual elemental resistance of elemental armor and flame lava armor. But Demon Butler's other two skills made him afraid to bet on the consequences of hard unlocking the skills. The devil's old-fashioned words can reduce the enemy's resistance to darkness. The devil's fighting spirit will increase the dark damage it causes to the enemy. A very simple and crude skill combination. But it is often such simple monsters that are the most difficult to deal with. Guests. Let's take it easy. Pluto is waiting for you to attend today's dinner party. The Demon Butler moved quickly while activating his old-fashioned speaking skills. As for Chenishu, it goes in with the left ear and out with the right ear. I just did the hidden mission to clear the hidden room. If there really is this Pluto, it probably has nothing to do with it. However, the Demon Deacon also felt a little surprised. After all, he has entered speed form now. Logically speaking, no one can resist his own super speed attack. But the young man in front of him could always barely avoid the skills just before they were about to hit him. Once or twice can be said to be a coincidence. But until now, Demon Butler has not hurt Chenishu at all. This is very telling. Just when the Demon Butler was puzzled, the corner of Chenishu's mouth suddenly raised a sneer. So, this is the way to break the situation. I should have thought of it earlier. Previously, Chenishu had been relying on Demon Butler's skills to cast slowness. Only in this way can you barely dodge its attack. But he also knew that continuing like this was not an option. Once you compete with monsters for speed, you will fall into a vicious cycle of slow death. After all, he was a mage, before he learned high mobility spells such as teleportation. It's just a wooden pile that can be slaughtered. Although he was lucky and got 2 pieces of acceleration equipment. However, the low speed attribute of the mage itself makes it impossible for him to surpass the profession that specializes in speed. At this time, the movement speed of the Demon Deacon, if converted into a job changer's panel, I'm afraid it will break 200. I should have thought of it earlier. If I couldn't control it, I would have attacked directly. Attack is the best defense. If you release the control combination of Blizzard and Slowness, will trigger a large-scale sweeping attack from Demon Deacon. There is no element matching of the rainbow formation. It's too risky to bet on the freezing effect yourself. Therefore, Chenishu did not launch an attack for a long time. But now, he has completely figured it out. Boom! I saw Chenishu's left hand gradually condensing a blazing fireball technique. And his right hand was wrapped with blue and white thunder and lightning. After using the slowness spell to dodge the Demon Deacon's attack, he released 2 skills, Fireball and Thunder, aggregation mode. At this time, Chenishu had a fireball in his left hand and a thunderball in his right hand. Fire elements and thunder elements were constantly entangled around him. Some small explosions formed. This is. A trace of fear flashed in the Demon Deacon's eyes. Precisely because it is a sane monster, it can understand how terrifying Chenishu is at this time. Fire element and thunder element, these 2 attributes often represent powerful attacks. And what will happen if these 2 powerful elements come together? Chenishu smiled coldly. Then the fireball technique on the handle and the thunder, aggregation mode, were integrated. Bang! A dazzling white light rose into the sky. At the same time, with Chenishu as the center, violent explosions began to occur. If we say that the previous explosion of the fireball technique could only turn the land into scorched earth, then after being intensified by the thunder element of thunder, aggregation mode, the explosion caused by the fireball technique seems to be able to shatter the entire space. The skill does not cause damage to the caster itself. But the Demon Butler flying nearby was not so lucky. It let out an unwilling roar and was engulfed by the white light triggered by Chenishu. Now, no matter where his weakness is, he can't escape Chenishu's attack. 1 force can bring down 10. This is the game-breaking answer given by Chenishu. In the face of absolute strength, any skills are useless. Kill Demon Butler, experience plus 400. Leap level kill, additional reward experience plus 400. Kill without injury, additional reward experience plus 400. Level increased to LV 13. Obtain key mission props, Pluto's invitation. It is detected that the job changer obtains mission props, and the hidden mission enters the third stage. The third stage of the hidden mission, as a distinguished guest of Pluto, participate in the banquet of the Temple of Demons. Chen Yishu was stunned. Dignified guest? Does Pluto still treat you differently? However, he soon figured it out. This is probably just a way of saying hidden tasks. The real situation should be that he met certain conditions, which made the rewards of the hidden mission more generous. Thinking of this, Chen Yishu couldn't help but feel a hint of joy in his heart. As a self-made professional, the more rewards, the better. In fact, he does need a huge reward. Come and get yourself to 10 stars in combat strength evaluation as soon as possible so as to obtain the admission qualification of Kunlun College. However, after thinking of Kunlun College, Chen Yishu also thought of the girl he and Su Miao saved just now. Just now I was obsessed with the fighting power of the demon butler. I actually completely forgot about the two of them. Chen Yishu chuckled lightly. The old saying is indeed true, women will only affect my fighting speed. After imitating what the singles in school often say, Chen Yishu walked towards Lu Fei and Su Miao. When he fought the demon deacon before, he deliberately kept distance from them. Therefore, Lu Fei and Su Miao were not affected by Chen Yishu's battle. Otherwise, the last explosion alone would have seriously injured the two of them and left the dungeon. After all, the skill only does not harm the caster, but it has never been said that it will not harm teammates. Chapter 33, Fragmented Worldview. Light blue mist wrapped around Lu Fei's body. She only felt a cooling sensation that spread throughout her body from head to toe. The wounds on his body, as well as his own physique, have recovered greatly. Is this water healing? Are you that rare professional water healer? Lu Fei's eyes widened and she looked at Su Miao in front of her in disbelief. Information about students who have transferred to rare occupations in Jianghai City. All are recorded in the files of Sky Eye. When Lu Fei inspected it with her father just now, she was lucky enough to see a few pages. That's why she was convinced that the ordinary-looking Su Miao in front of her was the girl who had been transferred to the water healing division. Su Miao smiled shyly, and then said, "It was before, but not now. I practiced with Brother Yi Shu for a while, and now I am a level 1 water spirit master." Kara. Lu Fei felt as if something was broken in her head. That's not just your own worldview. And a dignity that I am proud of. First transfer? How long ago did you transfer to first job? Are you still a human being? According to the information Lu Fei saw from the information, Su Miao is a newcomer who just changed jobs the day before yesterday. As for the dungeon Silent Land, it is basically a dungeon that only professionals around level 5 would choose to challenge. In other words, Su Miao directly rose to level 10 and reached rank 1 within 2 days. Su Miao covered her little heart and kept breathing heavily. You can reach level 10 and become a level 1 Dragon Knight. What does it rely on? It relies on the resources that my awesome dad piled on me. When he first changed jobs, Lu Tianqing used the experience book to directly upgrade his daughter to level 7. Later, he purchased all the equipment for her and asked her to download the dungeon alone. Therefore, Lu Fei was able to reach level 10 in such a short period of time. Before, she felt very proud of Jianghai City and even the entire Daxia Kingdom. It is impossible for anyone to upgrade faster than himself. But now, an ordinary girl has easily caught up with her own leveling speed. This was unacceptable to Lu Fei. Cough, cough, cough. Lu Fei smiled awkwardly, and then asked, "Brother Yi Shu you are talking about is the man who was with you just now, right? He must be a very advanced professional, so he can lead you to level up so quickly." Wrong? Lu Fei, who could not accept the facts, was still looking for the reason why Su Miao upgraded so quickly. And Su Miao's next words completely shattered Lu Fei's fantasy. No, Brother Yi Shu is also a newcomer who just changed his job yesterday. He should be only 1 or 2 levels higher than me now. Su Miao smiled honestly. But this smile, in Lu Fei's eyes, was full of mockery. Are you kidding me? I changed my job yesterday and reached level 10 or above today. Do you think the experience points are brought by the strong wind, and you will be promoted as soon as you want? In the past 210 years, Daxia Kingdom has never changed jobs on the second day. People who have reached level 10 or above, what nonsense are you talking about? Lu Fei was madly complaining about Su Miao in her heart. But she didn't say it directly. Because Lu Fei felt that Su Miao must be crazy to say such shocking things. If she made it clear, I'm afraid it would irritate her fragile mind. At this time, Lu Fei and Su Miao suddenly heard a violent roar. And their eardrums also suffered from bursts of tingling pain due to the huge sound. What's even more outrageous is that Lu Fei even felt that her body was floating slightly just now. It's like there is a high-level mechanic profession, using high-concentration artillery to bombard the ground wildly. After the explosion ended, Chen Yishu's figure slowly appeared in front of the two of them. Name, Chen Yishu. Level 13. Occupation, Forbidden Arcanist. Physique, 60. Magic Power, 274. Strength, 21. Spirit, 201. Speed, 43. Equipment, Flame Lava Armor, Slime Staff, Sacrificial Gem, Key of the Dead. Combat Power Rating, 8 stars. Skills, Fireball, Max, Slowness, Max, Blizzard, Max, Elemental Armor, Max, Thunder, Max, Forbidden Charge 48/50. Chen Yishu looked at his panel happily. Waves of happiness continued to overflow from his heart. After all, in this world where upgrading becomes more difficult the further you go. Every time he improves by one level, it means he becomes stronger. However, due to my unique profession, there seems to be no such thing as one turn or two turn. So while Chen Yishu was happy, he also felt a little bit regretful. However, this regret soon disappeared. After all, his professional characteristics and forbidden spells are beyond ordinary people's understanding. Even the great magician of rank 9 probably wouldn't be able to defeat him. Thinking of this, Chen Yishu's lips raised a smile again. And Lu Fei saw this scene in front of her. Then he pulled Su Miao and asked in a low voice, Hey, let me ask you, is there something wrong with your male companion? Why is he giggling there alone? Lu Fei pointed to her temple and hinted to Su Miao that Chen Yishu's IQ might be a little incomplete. Su Miao's face suddenly turned cold. I don't allow you to say that to Brother Yishu. He asked me to save you just now. Is this how you treat your savior? From the moment Chen Yishu protected her from the death sight of the biological chimera, Su Miao knew that her childhood sweetheart was definitely not an ordinary person. And during this time, we got along on the road to upgrade. Su Miao even regarded Chen Yishu as her pride. At this time, Lu Fei insulted him, and Su Miao was the first one who couldn't bear it. The light blue light suddenly disappeared from Lu Fei's body. And the unparalleled tingling sensation came to her mind again. Lu Fei suddenly took a breath of air. When I received Su Miao's treatment just now, I felt an extremely comfortable feeling rushing through my body. But now, the contrast caused by the severe pain made her extremely uncomfortable. No, it's my fault. I won't say bad things about him, okay? You can continue to treat me right away. Su Miao crossed her arms and said angrily, No, if you want to continue the treatment, you have to ask Brother Yishu if he agrees. Lu Fei immediately turned to Chen Yishu for help. After seeing the situation at the scene, Chen Yishu also sneered. Treatment, of course it can be cured. However, young lady, you have to think clearly. There is no free lunch in the world. We will charge fees for both the treatment just now and the treatment in the future. Lu Fei straightened her back immediately. As the daughter of the dean of Kunlun College, there is nothing she can't do. Unless Chen Yishu makes some excessive demands. Otherwise, whether it is money or equipment, I can provide it myself. Chapter 34 Sudden Changes. Of course, no problem. Since I just said it, I will never break my promise. I will agree to whatever conditions you put forward. Lu Fei replied confidently. She felt in her heart that all the two newcomers needed were funds and equipment. And I can afford both of these. Seeing the change in Lu Fei's expression, Chen Yishu also roughly guessed what she was thinking. He sneered. Then he said, "Miss Lu, are you right? I think you may have misunderstood something." Chen Yishu pointed at Lu Fei's lower right corner, his expression becoming extremely serious. "I don't want money or equipment, but all the hidden mission rewards you get must be handed over to the two of us. Is there any problem?" Lu Fei's eyes suddenly opened wide. She had thought that Chen Yishu might open his mouth. But I didn't expect that he would mention the hidden mission rewards. Lu Fei replied hesitantly, I just got involved accidentally, and I didn't trigger any hidden tasks." I'm afraid you made a mistake." "Well, how could I?" Under the tension, Lu Fei's chatty nature appears again. And with her evasive look, even the naive Su Miao could see the problem. "Hey! It's now this time, please stop lying, okay? Does the daughter of the dean of Kunlun College turn out to be a liar who keeps telling lies?" Su Miao put her hands on her hips and looked at Lu Fei with a questioning expression. Lu Fei was completely helpless. He had no choice but to lower his head and agree to Chen Yishu's request. Okay, I promise you, but can you leave some experience points for me? After all, I can find a way to deal with equipment and materials." Chen Yishu shook his head with a cold face. "You said it yourself and agreed to us on all terms. What? Now you're regretting it?" As the daughter of Dean Lu, Lu Fei would certainly not do such a thing. Just give the hidden rewards to Chen Yishu and the others. This means that all my efforts today have been in vain. The speed of upgrading will also leave the first echelon. At that time, no matter what you do, it will be inconvenient. The most important thing is that the rewards for hidden tasks are generally extremely generous. Even a dragon knight like Lu Fei, who is supported by a large amount of resources. I couldn't help but feel a burst of physical pain. Oh, by the way, there's one more thing. On the way to the palace of 10,000 demons, Chen Yishu shouted to Lu Fei. The demon servants and demon butlers had been eliminated before. These monsters seemed to be all the troops sent by Pluto to greet Chen Yishu and the others. Therefore, a few people had free time to chat while on the road. "What's up?" Lu Fei scratched his head and turned around tremblingly. At this moment, she was afraid that Chen Yishu would make some additional conditions. After all, when I promised them in the first place. But there is no mention of how many times the condition can take effect. So in theory, Chen Yishu and Su Miao can eat Lu Fei's debt of gratitude for the rest of their lives. When Chen Yishu saw Lu Fei's reaction, I couldn't help but feel funny in my heart. He was just asking for the corresponding reward for saving her life. As for being so scared, of course, Lu Fei just couldn't see his thoughts. Chen Yishu cleared his throat and then said, "Aren't you Dean Lu's daughter? I would like to ask where the Kunlun College's admissions exam was held this year?" Lu Fei suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. It turned out that Chen Yishu just wanted to inquire about this matter. "Don't worry. Kunlun College has discovered a brand new secret realm this year and is in urgent need of manpower to explore it. To put it bluntly, it means sending people in as cannon fodder to explore the path. Therefore, whether it is Jianghai City, Molten Smoke City, or beyond, in Lianjin Port, our college staff will conduct the admissions test. When you arrive, you only need to go to the transfer hall and talk to the staff there." Chen Yishu frowned, and then quickly digested the information Lu Fei just said. Kunlun College has discovered a new secret realm? Enrollment points are all over major cities. And it also requires a large number of people to explore the path. What is this? Chen Yishu, the more he thought about it, the more strange he felt. In the past, discovering new secret realms in the academy was nothing new. After all, the probability of the secret realm appearing is completely random. Universities generally cover a relatively large area. Therefore, it is not surprising at all that Kunlun College has discovered one or two new secret realms. Surprisingly, the school's attitude towards this new secret realm seems to be different from the past. According to the TV reports Chenishu saw before. Generally, if a new secret realm is discovered in the university, it must be sealed off first. Then professional personnel will go in and explore. After confirming that there is no fatal danger, the school will open the secret realm to job transferees, teachers, and students. After all, there are still only a few people who can switch to combat professions. Every time a combat profession is reduced, it means that humans are on the road to fighting against copies and monsters. Another supportive companion was lost. Just when he was thinking this, the gate of the Temple of 10,000 Demons, wrapped with iron thorns, also appeared in front of the three of them. But, when they first arrived at the door, a red font suddenly popped up in the lower right corner. Hidden Mission Stage 4, survive Pluto's attack for 1 hour. After 1 hour, the person who changes jobs will be forcibly teleported out of the hidden room, and the rewards will be automatically settled. Su Miao and Lu Fei looked at each other. Then they all showed a bad expression. The red font pops up in the dungeon, which means that the Sky Eye, responsible for monitoring various data in the dungeon, has issued a warning to those who change jobs. Sky Eye, after calculation based on high-precision optical brain. To judge the current situation, it is definitely not possible for the job changer's current level and equipment to pass. Only then will the red font be enabled. Lu Fei panicked all of a sudden. Where has she seen such a battle? The dungeons I typed in the past were all arranged by my father. While you can pass it easily, you can also get a lot of experience points as rewards. I have to say that Lu Tianqing loves his precious daughter very much. Don't be dazed. The attack is coming. Chen Yishu reminded Lu Fei seriously. Lu Fei finally woke up from her trance. Ah, good, ah. Lu Fei immediately let out a scream. Because just now, a jet-black light swept past her face. The earth still glows with a reddish glow. It shows the power of Pluto's attack. If Lu Fei falls into this trick, with her small body as a level 10 Dragon Knight, she can't withstand the damage at all. TCH. Didn't it hit? From behind the door of the Palace of All Demons, an elegant man wearing a cloak slowly walked out. His canines are pointed and long. Pupils appear dull red. In his hand, he was lazily holding a goblet. It was filled with about half of an unknown red liquid. Chapter 35 First Contact with Pluto. LV, Hades, HP. Attack power. Defense. Magic resistance. Characteristics, Qingming, any negative effects will not take effect on this enemy. Characteristics, immune to instant death, skills and equipment with instant kill attributes will not take effect on this enemy. Characteristics, extremely fast recovery. When the enemy's health drops below 50%, the speed of blood recovery is greatly increased. Skills, Dark Wave, Cursed Word, Corpse Group Control, etc., a total of 9 skills. Remarks, it is the incarnation of death, it is the way back for the dead, and it is also the destination for everyone. All living beings must bow to him. The moment I saw the Hades panel, Chen Yishu even felt that his appraisal skills were malfunctioning. Every attribute is a question mark. Each of the 3 characteristics is more perverted than the other. Even his skills are more than double that of Chen Yishu. How to fight such an enemy? And Lu Fei, after seeing Chen Yishu, subconsciously took out a weapon. He quickly said, "Are you crazy? This boss is obviously not something we can fight. Its attribute is a question mark, which means it is at least dozens of levels higher than us. Moreover, you haven't seen its characteristics and many skills it has." What? Chen Yishu was preparing for the battle very seriously at this time. He didn't take Lu Fei's words to heart at all. He even told Su Miao, who was on the side, "This woman is too noisy, Xiao Miao, please find a way to make her quieter." "Okay. Brother Yishu." Su Miao didn't seem to be afraid of Pluto in front of her. But Chen Yishu knew that Su Miao was just a newborn calf who was not afraid of tigers. If you don't understand how terrible the enemy is, how can you talk about being afraid? No. Don't come over, don't cover my mouth. Lu Fei struggled to break free from Su Miao's confinement. But what is unexpected is that Su Miao usually looks soft and weak. But after Chen Yishu told her to do something, she actually gained strength out of thin air. It directly trapped the Dragon Knight profession, which is known for its strength. Let me go. Aha. Lu Fei's mouth was tightly covered by Su Miao. No matter how she tried to break free, she could not escape Su Miao's grasp. Lu Fei could only helplessly protest in protest. On the other hand, Chen Yishu was facing off against Hades. Hee, boy, I really didn't expect you to come here. After all, at the beginning, I only let you in because I wanted to watch the fun. Hades, the king of Hades, touched his chin, and then asked doubtfully, did you kill all my servants before? Chen Yishu didn't reply. He just used the fireball technique to answer Pluto's question. Although the clearance goal given by Eye of the Sky is to survive Pluto's attack for 1 hour. But Chen Yishu never thought of running away. Attack is the best defense. In particular, Master Fa has become synonymous with high damage and high range in the eyes of the general public. Then it is even more impossible for Chen Yishu to embarrass his career. However, when the fireball technique was about to touch the body of Hades, the king of Hades. But he was immediately slapped away by Pluto. The fire magic power scattered everywhere was as gorgeous as fireworks. But there was not even a trace of burnt marks left on Pluto's palm. At the same time, the lower right corner of Chen Yishu also showed the result of this attack. Fireball, miss, cause damage 0. The burning effect is activated, but due to the monster's characteristics, it is automatically immune, so the damage is 0. Although Chen Yishu had already guessed this result. But it is inevitable that he still seems a little disappointed. Boy, don't waste your efforts, you are no match for me at all. With that said, Hades raised his arm again. 2 black rays of light shot straight towards Chen Yishu and the others from the palm of his hand. The black light was filled with an ominous aura. He also traveled at a shockingly terrifying speed. He rushed in the direction of Chen Yishu and the others. Chen Yishu narrowly avoided this black light attack. But even if he didn't take this hit, Chen Yishu knew that if he got hit by this move, it would be no joke. Lu Fei shouted anxiously at this time, who is that? Let's run away quickly. The mission only requires us to survive, and it does not restrict us to this area, so, run away quickly. Escape? This word only flashed in Chen Yishu's mind for less than a second. Then, he strongly rejected it. Just kidding, he is Chen Yishu. He is the only person who has changed the profession of Forbidden Arcanist. If he escapes, won't all his previous efforts be in vain? Moreover, his childhood sweetheart was also brought to suffer. This is what Chen Yishu doesn't want to see. So, when Chen Yishu heard Lu Fei shouting to run away, the fighting spirit in his eyes burned even more intensely. Forbidden spell, all-seeing eye. Chen Yishu silently chanted the name of the forbidden spell. Immediately afterwards, the time in the copy stopped abruptly, as if the pause button had been pressed. Because Lu Fei and Su Miao were nearby. He cannot directly call out the name of the skill. Therefore, it can only be replaced by this method. Simply, it seems that his skills will be judged to be released successfully even if he recites them silently. This made Chen Yishu breathe a sigh of relief. Because it was less than 5 centimeters away from in front of him. There was already a black light rushing towards his forehead. Hades, the old B****************** D, actually took advantage of Chen Yishu's dazed moment to launch an attack. Chen Yishu turned slightly sideways, away from the range of this dark wave. Then, information as dense as a sea suddenly broke into his mind. Hades, the legendary god in charge of life in the underworld, but what is in front of you seems to be just a projection of it. The detected dark element exceeds the threshold and is about to reach the critical point. It has been detected that the job changer Su Miao is about to be fatally injured, and the portal is online. Among the numerous messages, Chen Yishu only noticed the last thing. He immediately turned around and looked. All he saw was the slender black light that almost hit him just now. It also appeared on the foreheads of Su Miao and Lu Fei. Moreover, the distance between them and the black light is even closer, almost touching the skin. Chen Yishu quickly moved the two people to a safe location. Then with a cold face, he prepared to make a wave of modifications to Hades' attributes. Under the influence of the forbidden spell and the all-seeing eye, Chen Yishu finally saw clearly the attributes of Hades. I have to say, as the final boss of hidden rooms and hidden tasks, the numerical value he possesses is too outrageous. Chapter 36 Requiem for Hades. LV.55, Hades, Hades. HP, 50,238. Attack power, 2,352. Defense, 1963. Magic resistance, 90. Characteristics, Qingming, any negative effects will not take effect on this enemy. Characteristics, immune to instant death, skills and equipment with instant kill attributes will not take effect on this enemy. Characteristics, extremely fast recovery. When the enemy's health drops below 50%, the speed of blood recovery is greatly increased. Skills, Dark Wave, Curse Word, Corpse Group Control, Blood Rain, Black Arrow, Darkness Spread, Pluto's Wisdom, Pain and Torment. Remarks, it is the incarnation of death, it is the way back for the dead, and it is also the destination for everyone. All living beings must bow to him. When Chen Yishu saw the numbers behind the question mark, he couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. More than 50,000 HP and 90 magic resistance. If an official from the copy monitoring agency comes over, I'm afraid I have to fight without sleep for several days in a row before I can barely defeat Hades. And now, Chen Yishu is facing this final boss alone, which requires multiple people to deal with. Even though Hades' background setting is so grand. However, in Chen Yishu's eyes, this Pluto is just a bigger experience bag. I was worried. After entering the hidden room, although there were more rewards, the experience also decreased accordingly. This is not to say that Chen Yishu has become weaker. It's because the probability of refreshing monsters in the hidden room is too low. Chen Yishu and Su Miao walked around there several times, but couldn't find many monsters. Unexpectedly, on the way back, he unexpectedly ran into Lu Fei, who was beaten half-dead by the demon servant. It can be seen that the upgrade speed in the hidden room is not necessarily more efficient than the silent place outside. And the reason why Chen Yishu brought Su Miao in. It's not just about experience points. As we all know, we want to improve our combat effectiveness evaluation. Not only do their own attribute values need to be outstanding, but they also need rare equipment to show their strength. Chen Yishu could feel it himself. Cast the skill while holding the staff. It is much easier than releasing it with empty hands before. The detected monster characteristics are inherent attributes and cannot be erased. Just when Su Yan was about to use the erasure effect of the all-seeing eye to remove some of Hades' annoying characteristics, in his mind, a mechanical prompt sound suddenly came out. Can't erase? Su Yan was slightly surprised. What I originally planned was after the forbidden spell was fully charged. Use the immortal black flames or the enhanced thunder skills to slowly consume Pluto to death. But because of the three characteristics that Hades comes with, it is too difficult. Therefore, Chen Yishu temporarily changed his mind. Prepare to use your all-seeing eye to erase the characteristics of Pluto before attacking. But now, the voice in my head came out with such unpleasant news. Chen Yishu scratched his head a little irritably. Is there no way to deal with it? It's obviously just a projection. Chen Yishu's words seemed to trigger some switches. The roaring sound of the machine in my mind roared again. And the next second, the continuous effect of the all-seeing eye ends. The time in the hidden room began to flow away again. Hades, the king of Hades, looked at Chen Yishu's figure curiously. Because it clearly felt that the time around it seemed to have been suspended for a while. Boy, this is my hunting ground. You have the right to come in, but you have no right to run wild here. At this time, Pluto finally regarded Chen Yishu as a threat. and prepare to do our best to eradicate him. However, soon, Hades noticed something was wrong. The dark arrows and dark waves that he fired. It actually went straight through Chen Yishu's body. At this time, Chen Yishu was like a shadow. No matter what kind of attack, he could not be harmed. What did you do? A flash of panic suddenly flashed in Pluto's dark red eyes. It has never encountered a situation like Chen Yishu's. Chen Yishu chuckled lightly, and then said disdainfully, "It seems that the famous Pluto also has something he doesn't know about." As he said this, Chen Yishu saw fire in his left hand and thunder and lightning in his right hand. Two violent and terrifying elemental forces were continuously formed from his hands. Then, they merged tightly together. One after another. A ball of pure white light formed by a combination of fireball and lightning, aggregation mode. It is formed by constantly gathering around Chen Yishu. Regardless of whether Pluto uses negative effect skills such as curse words and painful torture, or use multiple physical attacks such as controlling the zombie swarm and blood rain, none of them could cause even the slightest harm to Chen Yishu. Hades, projection. Completely stunned on the spot. It couldn't understand that there could be someone who felt more oppressed by the boss than itself. At this time, the pure white light ball was slowed down by the slowness spell and had been in place for more than 10 seconds. In these 10 seconds, Chen Yishu condensed a total of 14 light balls. Because when I killed the demon deacon just now, I was directly promoted to 1 level. Chen Yishu, who was a little excited, did not check how much damage was caused by the fusion of fireball and thunder skills. He only knew that 666 HP was not the limit of this skill at all. And the fact is exactly what he thought. 14 extremely powerful pure white light balls directly swallowed the figure of Hades. It can be immune to negative effects, immune to instant kill effects, and can even achieve a substantial recovery of blood volume after half health. But, so what? Chen Yishu has never fought a war of attrition with any enemy since he changed his job. If you can't kill me in seconds, I'll kill you instantly. Chen Yishu's battle is so simple and rough. The battle data in the lower right corner presents Chen Yishu's results in a timely manner. Even Chen Yishu himself couldn't believe the words above. Fireball X14, hit, causing damage 16884. Has been amplified by thunder magic, and the damage value is doubled. A total of 1 enemy received splash damage, and the splash damage was 2814, has been amplified by thunder magic, and the damage value was doubled. A total of 1 enemy has entered the burning effect, and the burning damage is 0. Lightning, aggregation mode, X14, hit, causing damage 14070. Amplified by fire magic, damage doubled. A total of 1 enemy received chain damage, and the splash damage was 4221, has been amplified by fire magic, and the damage value was doubled. A total of 1 enemy has entered the burning effect, and the burning damage is 0. Thunder attribute is detected and fire attribute magic is released at the same time, causing an additional 30,954 explosion damage. Chapter 37. A frighteningly rich reward. Kill Hades, projection, experience plus 1,500. Leap level kill, additional reward experience plus 1,000. Kill without injury, additional reward experience plus 1,000. These 14 explosive light balls mixed with the dual attributes of thunder and fire, directly causing 68,943 points of damage to Hades, directly exceeding its own blood volume of more than 10,000. At this time, the prompt in the lower right corner has not stopped. Hidden mission, Quiet Past, has been completed. Detection of job changer killing Pluto Phantom. Unlock hidden achievement, God Killer. Get mission reward experience plus 2,500. Get the set, Pluto Phantom. Obtain precious material, Heart of Darkness. Obtain precious material, Dry Cursed Severed Finger. Obtain magical materials, Remnants of Divine Power. Level increased to LV14. Level increased to LV15. Unlock movement skills, Arc Flash. Chen Yishu looked at the rewards that kept appearing. I couldn't help but feel happy. Sure enough, my hard work was not in vain. If you just follow the task prompts, then it is definitely impossible for Chen Yishu to receive such a generous reward. At most, you can get experience points and precious materials. After the mission rewards enter your backpack. The first thing Chen Yishu checked was the introduction of the newly acquired set Pluto Phantom and the Remnant of Divine Power. After all, among the many purple props of precious quality, these two red magical quality props look very dazzling. You must know that red magical quality equipment is already among the rarest of rarities. There was once a job changer who spent half his life savings to barely buy a ring of magical quality. It can be seen that the rarity of magical equipment is quite high. Set, Pluto Phantom. Quality, Red Magic. After opening it, you can get a complete set of Pluto Phantom series equipment, wearable by all professions. Level limit is LV15 or above. LV15, Remnants of Divine Power. Quality, Red Magic. Materials for inlay. Give equipment skills, Gate of Hades. When receiving a fatal attack, the Gate of Hades will automatically resist the attack, and within the next 10 seconds, the wearer will enter an invincible state. Note, this skill has a cooling time, and you need to wait 24 hours after each use. Can be released again. Chen Yishu opened his mouth slightly. Because of the residual effect of this divine power. It was exactly the same as the trick he used to defeat Pluto just now. Just now, Chen Yishu was in the final moments of the emergency spell, the all-seeing eye. Because the attributes of Pluto cannot be modified. So he changed his perspective to himself. Chen Yishu erased the effect that would cause him to be harmed. Therefore, all the skills that Hades, the King of Hades, unleashed on Chen Yishu just now will be ineffective. Although the duration is only a short dozen seconds. But it was enough for him to accumulate a large number of thunder and fire light balls during the slow time. Killed the final boss. After the material inspection is completed, Chen Yishu couldn't wait to open the suit and put on all the Pluto Phantom series equipment on himself. He doesn't worry about the fit at all. Because equipment of magical quality has adaptive attributes, it will stimulate different attribute effects according to the occupation of the equipment. For example, you are a macho warrior of strength type. Then when wearing equipment with adaptive attributes, it is absolutely impossible to have a funny situation like intelligence +5. Although that is said. But the attributes added by red magical quality equipment. Chen Yishu was still surprised. Crown of Pluto's Phantom. Quality, Red Magic. Spirit +30. Magic Power +30. Physique +15. Speed +15. Characteristics: the wearer's skill chanting time is reduced by 50%, and when releasing the skill, there is a 50% chance of ignoring the chanting time and releasing it instantly. Note, the Wisdom Crown of the Phantom of Pluto, releasing magic requires not only profound knowledge, but also sometimes a little luck. The Robe of the Phantom of Hades. Quality, Red Magic. Spirit +50. Magic Power +50. Physique +25. Speed +25. Characteristics: the wearer's all attribute damage received is reduced by 50%, and when receiving damage, there is a 50% chance of being immune to the damage and negative effects of this skill. Note, the Robe of Pluto Phantom can withstand most common attacks. When you put it on, you will have changed. Gauntlet of Pluto's Phantom. Quality, Red Magic. Spirit +30. Magic Power +30. Physique +15. Speed +15. Features: the wearer's skill release speed is reduced by 50%, and there is a 50% chance of double release when releasing skills. Note, the Gauntlet of Pluto's Phantom, Pluto has the ability to distinguish between life and death. This ability is not only reflected in the equipment. The remaining ones are Pluto Phantom Pants and Pluto Phantom Boots. Overall, the properties added by the robe and gauntlets are similar. The only difference is that the characteristic of the trousers is to reduce the skill consumption of the wearer by 50%, and there is a 50% probability of ignoring the consumption of this skill. The characteristics of the boots are to increase the wearer's movement speed by 50%, and have a 50% probability of releasing an afterimage at the starting point. As for the jewelry and equipment of Pluto Phantom, the physique, magic power, spirit, and speed each add 10 points, and their characteristics are a bit useless to Chenishu. In unison, the magic recovery speed is increased by 50%, and there is a 50% probability of increasing the recovery speed by an additional 50%. However, it was tasteless, and Chenishu still wanted the attributes brought by these jewelry. So, he equipped them all. At this time, his attribute panel was completely different from before. If I have to say it, this is completely unlike what a professional who is only level 15 can have. Name, Chenishu. Level, level 15. Occupation, Forbidden Arcanist. Physique, 197. Magic, 524. Strength, 23. Spirit, 451. Speed, 180. Equipment, Crown of Phantom of Hades, Robe of Phantom of Pluto, Gauntlets of Phantom of Pluto, Pants of Phantom of Pluto, Boots of Phantom of Pluto, Earrings of Phantom of Pluto, Necklace of Phantom of Pluto, Bracelet of Phantom of Pluto, Pluto Phantom's Quit. Combat Power Rating, 12 stars. Skills, Fireball, Max, Slowness, Max, Blizzard, Max, Elemental Armor, Max, Thunder, Max, Arc Flash, Max, Taboo Charge 0/50. Chenishu doesn't care much about other attributes. The only thing that interested him was the spirit of the 451 points. This means that his fireball technique, without magic resistance, can deal a huge damage of more than 13,000 points. Chapter 38 Why did she run away? Congratulations to Chenishu, who changed his job, cleared the hidden mission Quiet Past, and unlocked the hidden achievement God Killer. Professionals who were leveling in the Quiet Land, without exception, all saw this notice in gold font in the lower right corner. Of course, Lu Tianqing, who is looking for where his daughter has gone, is no exception. Who is Chenishu? He is so lucky. He actually found the hidden mission. Isn't that right? I've been staying in the quiet place for almost a month. Not to mention the hidden missions, I haven't encountered many normal missions. That's not right. Generally speaking, after clearing a hidden mission, the names of the entire team members will be displayed. Why is there only one person? Just when the career changers were puzzled. Lu Tianqing was also puzzled for a while. Chenishu? Is it possible that he is the genius I am looking for? The dean of Kunlun College stared at the text and thought for a long time. Then he shook his head. Oh, forget it. Talents like this will always have channels to contact them in the future. I have to find Feifei first. I finally brought her to the copy in person, but I didn't expect that I actually lost her. Lu Tianqing kept condemning himself for his dereliction of duty as a father. Lu Fei, who was fashionable and in a hidden room, was looking at Chenishu not far away with a surprised look on her face. You killed the final boss in the hidden room? When she said this, her lips trembled. Because Lu Fei didn't react at all, what happened? When Chenishu opened his all-seeing eye, the time in the copy stood still. Therefore, in the eyes of Lu Fei and Su Miao, Chenishu just stayed in a daze for a while. Then suddenly the boss was defeated. Any normal person would not be able to understand what Chenishu did. Chenishu nodded slightly. Then he threw a fruit to Lu Fei. We don't have any use for this, so I'll give it to you. Lu Fei immediately checked the properties of the fruit. But the result made her take a breath of cold air. Fruit of Helheim. Quality, purple precious. Effect, after eating, the person who changes jobs will have a significant increase in strength within 30 minutes, the current level is LV10, the increase value is 100, and there is a 50% chance of doubling her strength. Lu Fei's mouth opened slightly. She couldn't believe that Chenishu gave such a precious fruit to herself so easily. You know, this kind of prop that adds its own attributes is extremely difficult to obtain. according to the information she got from Lu Tianxing. Purple quality props like Helheim fruit can be sold for a sky-high price of 1.5 million daxia coins on the black market. In other words, what Chen Yishu just threw to Lu Fei was not just a purple quality food. He threw away a full 1.5 million. Chen Yishu saw Lu Fei's confused look. I couldn't help but chuckle. He knew very well what Lu Fei was thinking. According to Chen Yishu's guess, great rewards from this hidden mission, including equipment, materials, and enhanced foods such as Helheim fruit. Added up, the total value can even exceed 50 million daxia coins. Therefore, this 1.5 million is nothing worth mentioning to Chen Yishu. Mainly, he wanted to sell more favors to the daughter of the president of Kunlun College. When the time comes, after entering Kunlun College, things will be much easier for me. Chen Yishu, who has lived in 2 generations, naturally has a thorough understanding of the world of people and worldly affairs, such as having many friends and many paths, and having people above him who are easy to do things. Really, can you really give it to me? You have to think clearly about such a good thing. This is a purple and precious quality prop. Lu Fei looked in disbelief. But when she looked at the Helheim fruit, she kept swallowing her saliva. It also seems quite funny. Chen Yishu said seriously, things given away are like water thrown out. There is no reason to bring them back. Don't worry, I won't cheat you. Take it well. Then thank you. Lu Fei lowered her head and quickly put the Helheim fruit into her backpack. Then, she directly touched the teleportation array not far away, and left the hidden room as if running away. It was as if he was afraid that Chen Yishu would reflect. What about it? I don't know how to eat people. Chen Yishu looked at the light particles formed by the teleportation array. I suddenly felt speechless. At this time, Su Miao looked at Chen Yishu expectantly. Although Su Miao is not a greedy person, but Chen Yishu can provide precious supplements like Helheim fruit to outsiders. As a childhood sweetheart, it is natural for her to have some expectations for Chen Yishu. Chen Yishu smiled. Then he took out a lot of things from his inventory and handed them to Su Miao. Don't worry, how could I forget you? When Su Miao took the thing and took a look, she was so frightened that she almost sat down on the ground. Crystals from the Fountain of Immortality. Quality, purple precious. Props for inlaying. Give weapon skills, Fountain of Immortality. The healing effect is increased by 50%. When the weapon holder releases a skill, there is a 50% chance that his own magic power will be restored to full magic power. Brother Yishu, can you really give me this thing? Su Miao asked in surprise. I just completed the hidden mission with Chen Yishu. He also received 1,000 experience points from the mission reward. Now, Su Miao's level has reached LV11. Su Miao was already content. After all, his current level is already ahead of most of the career changers. But Chen Yishu, at this moment, gave her another big gift. That's why Su Miao seemed a little panicked. Of course, just feel free to take it. Just think of it as my gratitude to you and Aunt Yun for taking care of me over the years. Chen Yishu looked at Su Miao quietly. His eyes looked very clear at this time. Then what do you do, Brother Yishu? You gave us all the rewards, ah. Su Miao suddenly shouted, and then said in a panic, Brother Yishu. Oh no! That Lu Fei promised us to transfer her mission reward, why is she running away now? Chen Yishu chuckled lightly, and then said, you don't have to worry about my affairs. In fact, the thing I just gave you is just one of many rewards. I think it is particularly suitable for you, so I gave it to you. As for Lu Fei, Chen Yishu's expression became a little gloomy. He also didn't expect that Lu Fei would do such a thing as a reward. However, as the daughter of the dean of Kunlun College, they will meet again sooner or later. Therefore, Chen Yishu is not in a hurry to chase her. Instead, he and Su Miao slowly stepped into the teleportation array hiding the exit of the room. Chapter 39 The Wife of the Exchange Owner. Because Lu Fei and Chen Yishu did not enter the teleportation array in the hidden room together, Therefore, the locations they transmitted are also very different. On Lu Fei's side, as soon as she came out, she bumped into her father, Lu Tianqing. Lu Tianqing sensed the aura of the copy teleportation array here. So he kept waiting nearby. After seeing his daughter come out of the hidden room, finally, there was a hint of relief on his face. Although Lu Fei changed her profession and became a rare professional dragon knight, and she also has herself protecting her. However, Lu Tianqing was still a little worried about his innocent daughter. I was afraid that she would be deceived. My dear daughter, where have you gone? I'm almost worried to death. Lu Tianqing directly picked up Lu Fei and spun him around 3 times. Several career changers who were still spawning monsters on the side looked over frequently. Dad! Don't do this, there are still people watching. Lu Fei's pretty face turned red. Then he quickly broke away from Lu Tianqing's arms. I was accidentally sucked into the hidden room triggered by someone else just now. Later, Lu Fei told Lu Tianqing everything that happened in the copy in detail. After listening to his daughter's story, Lu Tianqing's expression changed again and again. In the end, he beat his chest angrily. It's so irritating. It's so irritating. Lu Fei felt warm in her heart when she saw her father fighting for her. Dad, you don't have to be so angry. Although the man named Chen Yishu is a bit cunning, he is generous at least. You see, this is purple and precious food, so he just threw it to me casually. After saying that, Lu Fei also showed Lu Tianqing the Helheim fruit she had just obtained. But who knew, Lu Tianqing said seriously to Lu Fei, I'm talking about you. You are too stupid. Do you want to ****** me off? That Chen Yishu, at first glance, is the genius I am looking for. Don't you agree with him? After building a good relationship, you still use your own identity to make deals with him? What if, when the time comes, Chen Yishu feels that our Kunlun College is not good and refuses to enroll? Once it comes to your own career, Lu Tianqing would not give his daughter a good look. After all, Kunlun College was his life's work, which even Lu Fei, as his daughter, could not match. Dad! I'm sorry. I didn't know before. After being scolded by her father, Lu Fei also knew the seriousness of the problem. Fortunately, he and Chen Yishu didn't get into too much trouble. So, just ask him nicely. Most likely, Chen Yishu will still choose Kunlun College. With this thought in mind, Lu Fei slowly turned around and looked at the teleportation array in the hidden room that was gradually disappearing behind her. Brother Yishu, it's getting late, why don't we finish here today? After Chen Yishu and the two came out of the hidden room, Su Miao wanted to go home. Firstly, it's because it's really getting late. Secondly, Su Miao wanted to quickly inlay the treasure that Chen Yishu gave her into her own weapon. As a professional recovery player, Su Miao is not worried that no team will invite her. But if he had a choice, he still wanted to clear the dungeon with Chen Yishu. The sense of security that Chen Yishu brought her was beyond the reach of those in the front row professions. But she also knew that although the two were childhood sweethearts, but Chen Yishu cannot always be by her side. Therefore, strengthen your own strength and strive to catch up with Chen Yishu. This is what Su Miao should do most now. Thinking of this, Su Miao's beautiful big eyes were filled with enthusiasm. She felt that she had finally found her goal. Well, it's time to go back. I have to go back and count the rewards from the hidden mission just now, and sell the garbage in the bag by the way. By the way, Xiaomiao, you can also check your inventory and copy when you go back. Some of the props and equipment in it go into the backpack without you even noticing, and it will be full if you don't notice it. Okay, brother Yishu. Su Miao replied blankly. Whether before or now, Chen Yishu never paid attention to those junk equipment and props when downloading the dungeon. But they are just these ordinary things that cannot be more ordinary. It always has the highest explosion rate and is also the main culprit taking up space in the backpack. In addition, Chen Yishu is only one person, and the dropped items cannot be shared with his teammates. Therefore, Chen Yishu's inventory is always in a state of being about to explode. After returning to the city, Su Miao was the first to say goodbye to Chen Yishu and went straight back to her home. Chen Yishu, on the other hand, turned around and went to the exchange, preparing to sell the monster materials and other garbage he had on him, in exchange for some money. To facilitate career changers, professional associations have established exchanges in every city. Job changers can exchange monster materials obtained from dungeons or the wild for daxia coins here. And depending on the quality and monsters, the price of materials will also fluctuate. To put it simply, low-level monster materials such as slimes and goblins will be sold very cheaply. The fallen materials of high-level monsters such as giant dragons and golems can often be sold for sky-high prices. Although Chen Yishu can also choose to find someone to turn these low-level monster materials into white ordinary quality equipment for sale. But that would be too troublesome, and you wouldn't make much more money. After repeated weighing, Chen Yishu decided to sell some of the useless materials he had on him directly. Dingle bell. There was a pleasant ringing from the door of the exchange. Afterwards, Chen Yishu stepped directly into the exchange. Say it's an exchange. In fact, it is just an ordinary house turned into a shop. And the proprietress Kulan was lying on the table, soundly asleep. Also woken up by the doorbell. She asked in a daze, "Who? Buying props or selling materials?" Chen Yishu looked Kulan up and down. I found that although the landlady looked lazy, but the muscles in all parts of the body are exercised just right. The slender legs are round and white. The 2 white lumps on the chest are hidden in the clothes. It was also placed on the table, attracting Chen Yishu's attention intentionally or unintentionally. This is Kulan's usual technique. As a shrewd businessman, she knew very well how to use her own advantages to deal with these young male guests. The dark blue hair also shows that she is not from Jianghai City. Chen Yishu estimated that the proprietress should be from Lianjingang. But these are not as good as Kulan's eyes. Kulan's pupils are deep and bright, with a courage that can penetrate people's hearts. Then he said in a deep voice, "There are a lot of materials for sale. Have you acquired them?" When I heard Chen Yishu say this, Kulan immediately became energetic, and a greedy look suddenly flashed in her eyes. As a businessman, her favorite thing is naturally money. Are you kidding? This is a professional exchange, and it is backed by the Job Transfer Association. No matter how much material you have on your own, our exchange cannot afford to buy it. Kulan has been working on the exchange for so many years. This is the first time I've seen someone speak so arrogantly. How many more materials can you get by yourself? Only when large guilds collectively attack super large dungeons will they clean up the huge amounts of useless materials. Kulan still remembers the biggest order he ever received. It is to acquire the goblin ear sold by Lingyun Guild. The number actually reached an astonishing more than 100. Once she resold it, she made a profit of nearly 10,000 daxia coins. You know, ordinary people only get 2 or 3 goblin ears after clearing a dungeon. The money sold is enough for a few days of living expenses at most. Lingyun Guild took out so many at once, which shows how many times they visited the goblin village. But Chen Yishu said lightly, "Then let me sell this first, goblin ears. This thing is the most in my bag. I just checked, there are more than 230. Chapter 40. I wanted to refuse, but he gave me too much." Thanks to Chen Yishu's previous experience, he used the dungeon boss goblin sacrifice as a tool for the production team. He also obtained a lot from the 3 thieves' brothers. It's almost as much as the total amount of times he defeated ordinary goblins before. But what even Chen Yishu himself didn't expect was ordinary materials that I took out of the bag casually. But it made the somewhat sleepy landlady in front of him so shocked that he couldn't speak. I must not have woken up yet. Kulan comforted himself. Then she picked up a cup on the table. I brewed some coffee to refresh myself. Tell me again, how many goblin ears do you have? Chen Yishu thought she was a little baffled. So he spoke again, 230? Boss lady, do you have poor hearing? Puff. The coffee in Kulan's mouth sprayed all over the table. She pinched her cheek hard. I'm not dreaming. Then, she looked at Chen Yishu with vigilant eyes. Although Kulan loves money, it is true. But she also has her own principles. What she loves is clean money from formal channels. Not only are the goods being circulated on the black market dirty, they can easily get you fired. Kulan is naturally unwilling to do this kind of loss-making business. As a result, Kulan's expression became a little cold again. Young man, let me warn you, we are a serious exchange here. If you want to engage in material smuggling, please go directly to the black market. Otherwise, I have the right to report you directly to the professional association. Kulan thought he understood the truth of the matter. A student like Chen Yishu who looks like a poor student. How could it be possible to get so many materials? Chen Yishu suddenly felt speechless. It turned out that the boss lady regarded herself as a material smuggler. He sneered, and then said, "Don't worry, I'm not a smuggler. These monster materials were all made by my hands." With that said, Chen Yishu directly released a large number of goblin ears from his inventory. Thanks to the 10 by 10 inventory that job changers bring. Only Chen Yishu can hold so many things. But even the upper limit of materials is 99 in a group. These goblin ears also occupy 3 of his inventory slots. Therefore, Chen Yishu wanted to take the lead in getting rid of these things. I saw something. Kulan's mouth has never been closed since he saw Chen Yishu taking out the goblin ear. Kulan is a life and career appraiser who has changed her job. Her own appraisal skills allow her to see more information than ordinary professionals. Just like the goblin ears in front of me. Goblin ears. Type, monster material. Quality, white ordinary. Degree of wear, 2%. Possessor, all goblin-appearing monsters. Drop location, Goblin Village, Goblin Town, Goblin Frenzy City. Winner, Chen Yishu. In terms of appraisal skills, it was clearly written that the recipient of goblin ears was Chen Yishu in front of him. And there is another thing called wear degree. Chen Yishu didn't know this, but Kulan did see it clearly. According to some high-level professionals, materials obtained from monsters will slowly decay and disappear over time. Therefore, the moment you get the materials, you must make a choice, whether to sell them or make them into equipment. The degree of wear and tear has now become a criterion for judging the value of the material. The lower the degree of wear and tear and the fresher the monster materials, the higher the success rate of equipment manufacturing. Therefore, it can also be sold at a higher price. Moreover, just like what Chen Yishu said, these 230 goblin ears, without exception, are all his. The landlady looked at Chen Yishu's panel suspiciously. Unexpectedly, with her LV6 identification skills, she could only vaguely see Chen Yishu's name. Other information about attributes and levels. Kulan couldn't see a bit. However, these are enough. Kulan's attitude towards Chen Yishu suddenly became extremely respectful. After all, there is a saying that no businessman can have trouble with money. You have established a good relationship with this big customer, but you still worry about not making money? Haha. Kulan smiled awkwardly, and then said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Chen. I was arbitrary just now, and I apologize to you, because I really can't believe that an ordinary job changer can obtain so much material." Chen Yishu waved his hand and said nonchalantly, "It's okay, boss lady, I don't even know how so many ordinary materials are piled up. If it's convenient, please help me exchange it for funds quickly. I still have some when I get home. Things have to be busy." Okay. Kulan panicked and took out his abacus, and then priced one goblin ear at 12 daxia coins according to the market price. Help Chen Yishu sort out the rewards he deserves. Kulan's hands kept fidgeting back and forth on the abacus. The conclusion was quickly reached. "Mr. Chen, we have already calculated here. 230 goblin ears can give you a total of 2,760 great xia coins. However, because of the materials you brought." Chen Yishu felt something bad when he heard it. "I heard that the bosses of the exchange are extremely evil-hearted. Many career changers were forcibly purchased materials at low prices, but were forced to reach an agreement with their bosses so that they could not spread the word. It's like a dumb person eating Coptis chinensis and unable to express the pain. But there is no airtight wall under the sky. The news spread like wildfire and eventually reached the ears of Chen Yishu, a student who had just transferred to another job. Chen Yishu swallowed. Listen carefully to what Kulan is going to say next. Kulan, on the other hand, smiled and then said, "The wear degree of this batch of materials you brought is only 2%. It is as if they were just obtained from monsters. For future considerations, I, personally, am willing to for 3,000 daxia coins, I will purchase all your goblin ears." Chen Yishu breathed a sigh of relief. It turned out that Kulan regarded himself as a big customer. "I want to achieve a long-term cooperative relationship with myself." Chen Yishu replied directly, "No problem. In fact, the materials I want to sell are not just this one." While talking, Chen Yishu took out the withered bones of the undead goblins and the weathered bones dropped by the zombies. Just when Chen Yishu was hesitating whether to take out more advanced green materials, Kulan quickly waved his hand and said, "Enough, enough. The shop just completed a big business today, and there is not much cash left. If you still have materials, please come back tomorrow." Kulan saw that Chen Yishu still had materials, and quickly stopped him from taking things. In fact, she has enough money. But because he was worried that Chen Yishu's careless behavior of selling materials would be targeted by some people with ulterior motives. That's why Su Yan was stopped from continuing to sell materials. But what she didn't know was that Chen Yishu had encountered similar robberies before. At that time, he had just come out of the goblin village. "I found a grocery store on the roadside and exchanged a small amount of money. They were surrounded by a trio of thieves headed by Cyclops. But in the end, Chen Yishu easily counterattacked and obtained two useful equipment, the elemental armor and the slime staff. The market price of goblin bones is 32 daxia coins, the market price of weathered broken bones is 21 daxia coins." Kulan kept calculating the prices of the materials Chen Yishu brought out. Finally, he was given a pretty good number. "Mr. Chen, the price of your 93 dead goblin bones and 140 weathered broken bones is around 2,900 daxia coins. Therefore, including your previous goblin ears, I will give you a complete package. How about a total of 10,000 daxia coins?" You are listening to it in Eugene Light Novels.